to 1. Game 5 from Boston is set for 6:30. Remember, no Kristaps Porzingis for the Celtics. He has a calf strain, going to keep him out a couple of games. The Mavs and Clippers all tied up at 2 games apiece. They'll tip from Los Angeles. That is set for 9 o'clock. Both of those games on TNT.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, the voice is still coming back, but here we go. Better, right? Hump day! Not bad.
Hump
Not bad,
day!
Joe. Wait. Did I hear another voice in the studio? Hey, you the new guy? You want to introduce yourself or what?
Well, no, the new guy, we might hear him on Friday. And then first thing on Monday morning with Rob. That's the new guy. I'm just glad to be alive and back. Jeez. It's been a crappy couple of days.
Yeah, that sucks to be sick.
And I would love to blame you, Joe Reinagel.
Uh-huh.
Because you've been dealing with this crap that's in the air for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And, I went to Phoenix on Friday night, a very last minute, the hell are we doing kind of weekend trips to Phoenix. But I felt fine. Like, I've had people message me, dude, that must have sucked over the weekend. No, I was fine. I landed Sunday night around 8 o'clock and I was fine. We went to go eat. And when I got home, I was just like, man, I'm tired. I woke up Monday morning with no voice and just congested as you can imagine, but no voice. I couldn't even, nothing. Well, this sucks. When you talk for a living, that is the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah, it blows.
And if you've listened to this show for, 16 years that I've been doing it, I don't call in sick very often. I'll come in here when you will call the station and say, dude, send that guy home.
Yeah.
He should probably go home. I couldn't. The last 2 days, no voice, doing all the things that you can possibly do to try to get that back. I'm not a hot drink person. I don't drink coffee. Hot tea and honey, though, when you've got a sore throat's wonderful, although I hate it.
You didn't do apple cider vinegar?
No.
Dude, it's a miracle cure. I'm telling you.
I looked for some in our house. We didn't have any.
And Joanna would have gone out and gotten you some of that.
She went out and bought all kinds of stuff. It's all the different home remedies. I don't eat soup very often except for when I'm sick. Chicken noodle soup.
Uh-huh.
Well, I go looking for chicken noodle soup Monday, and my wife has no idea I'm at home sick. Like she gets up and goes to work, and I wake up and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I start to clean out go get some chicken noodle soup, and I'm looking at it, and it has a best use date by whatever 2021.
In your cupboard.
In our cupboard.
Yeah.
Which is how often we eat soup, which is probably the last time I was sick to where I wanted chicken noodle soup. And then I found all these canned goods from 21, 22, 23 that I threw out. So Joanna gets home and now she's mad because I have thrown out everything with an expired date because I'm in that sick, miserable, I'm hard to deal with stage to begin with. But an Earl Grey tea. I needed Earl Grey tea.
Earl.
Well, that's
not Walter or Howard. It's got to be Earl.
Well, that's the name of the tea. I don't know why, but all the teas in our house were all those foo-foo things that I can't stand, whether you're sick or not. So I didn't have any soup, and I didn't have my tea, which I don't drink very often. And
this massive tea bag.
Exactly.
Then you didn't have any whiskey?
I had whiskey.
Yeah,
and that helped. For lunch on Monday, I had vanilla ice cream with Fireball.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, whatever works.
Well, it didn't do any good for Tuesday. And then finally get some medicine and starting to feel better. But
hey, your wife's a nurse. You would think that, you get the best care and she'd be doing all the nurse things that they do.
You would think. Being married to a nurse. It's 2:05. She's at work. Is great if you know a nurse. If you're friends with a nurse and you've got a problem, and people call Joanna all the time about this, that, and the other, right? And boy, she is there, and she does a great job of taking care of me. But I'm a big baby, like all men when we're sick, right? But the care and compassion is part of that nurse's creed. It doesn't really work at home.
Of course not.
It doesn't work at home.
Rub some dirt on it. Let's go.
She deals with sick people all day long. The last thing she wants to do is come home to a sick dude that's whining like a baby. That feels like he's gonna die because I was.
I don't blame her, man.
And no,
that'd be miserable.
You know, she does all the yeah. You're fine. What do I have? You have a cold. Relax. You have a cold. That's all. Take this, take that. What about this? No, take this, take that. Listen to me. Take this. Like, what about that? You know. So yeah, it's been a great couple of days. Although, my goodness, I slept Monday from like 10 o'clock in the morning until like 7 at night.
But we want to hear about that. Pledge and I were here slaving away.
Yesterday,
working our asses off.
I took a nap at noon, and she woke me up when she got home from work.
See, I mean, you know, and Pledge and I get to stumble out of here tired. I can hardly drive home. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
it's about time you work for a living. It's about damn time. You know.
We had a good time, man. Everybody missed you, but we had a good time Monday, Tuesday. It's good.
Yeah. Well, and what sucks about being sick, well, first off, always better to be sick on company time than over the weekend.
Sure, right?
But at the same time, Monday, after watching that Cowboys not draft a running back, well, I was pissed. I was, you know, on the plane ride home, reading articles, taking notes, ready for Monday's show. Now, you know,
and then what pisses you off is on Monday they signed Zeke Elliott. So that's why they didn't. And we talked about that last week. They got to draft a running back. They want to sign Zeke. That's great, but they got to draft somebody, and they didn't.
You know, I am not happy. I'm happy with the Cowboys draft, minus the fact that they did not draft a running back when it looked like they had opportunities.
They did
to draft good running backs.
Second round, man, they could have had Trey Benson.
They could have. And even in the third round, although I like who they got in the third round. I think that guy's going to be a beast.
That's the best draft pick of the draft
and
for them.
And that guy, the BB guy, apparently my buddy from the Navy, Carlos, who lives in Kansas City, he went to the same high school that his kids went to, although a little bit younger than his youngest, but his daughter went to school with Connor's older brother, Colton. But they've known about this guy for a long time, Masher. He's one of those guys. So he was texting me, dude, and all right, you're getting all right, cool, relax, we'll see. But he looks like that guy. So I like what they did there. They got a center who could be a 10-year starter. They still needed a running back. And even later in the draft, there were guys that you thought, okay, well, maybe. And we're going with Zeke. And the only thing that makes sense to me about Zeke, and I said this a week ago, is he can block. His greatest skill at this point, besides short yardage, is he is a great blocker. Always has been a great blocker. And with a young offensive lineman, his value as a blocker is certainly worthy. But you still needed to draft a damn running back. And they didn't do it.
Well, I'm just happy that they're going to protect the guy that they're going to rely on more than anybody this year, and that, of course, is number 4. Dak Prescott. It's all on his shoulders. Can he come through? He'll be properly blocked for. So we'll see.
Yeah, let's get the band back together.
Yeah,
Zeke,
whatever.
He's back in the fold. So I've got lots of questions about what the Cowboys did not do in the draft. Will McClay will join us in about 20 minutes or so. He is the Cowboys vice president of player personnel. He's basically the general manager. He does all the work. Jerry has the title. But Will's been there 21 years. We've talked to Will many times. Great guy. Love his knowledge. Love his insight. I'm going to ask him about running backs. I mean, what are you thinking?
You have to.
What are you thinking?
You have to.
What are you thinking? Explain yourself, Will.
A lot of things to talk to Will about, and I'm looking forward to that conversation. So that'll be good. It's coming up at, 2:30?
Yeah, 2:30, 2:35. Will McClay will join us here on the Blitz. It's also Wednesday, so Wednesdays with Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas.
The 4-1 San Antonio Brahmas.
Getting close to playoff bound.
Wow.
And they've got a big game this week at D.C. That looks like it has one of the funnest environments in spring football with their games in the Beer Snake that they always
The
have.
beer
The beer snake.
Yeah, okay. All right. I
Yes.
know what a beer snake is.
Well, of course you do.
Well, I do.
Of course you do.
Uh-huh. Pretty good with snakes.
Are you?
Sure.
Explain yourself.
Phrasing.
Beer snakes.
Oh, beer snakes.
Beer snakes. I like those things. And they, they go like down 10 rows. That's what you're talking about, right? The cups and
Yes.
Yeah. Now, have y'all ever done that? Seriously.
What?
A beer snake.
Have you ever been to Worst Fest? Of course.
Yeah, I've been to Worst Fest.
Everybody has stacked cups, Joe.
Yeah, but nobody wants to do that. Who the hell wants to do that?
Dude, everybody at Worst Fest.
Not everybody. I don't.
Well, just because you don't. Now, as I've gotten older, I realize, all you're doing is making it easier for the cops to pick you out as you're leaving Worst Fest. There's a guy with 4
Yeah.
stacked pitchers and 81 cups.
Right.
Follow him to his car. Yeah.
I just don't want to carry all that crap around.
Well, see, but like James Pledger, I mean, you go to his apartment, and that's his dishes. Is the various years of Worst Fest cups and pitchers.
Well, I don't blame him for that. That's okay. I get that. Those little plastic cups are actually good for beer, but they're, you put a good cocktail in there too.
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Yeah.
cups.
I got some Masters cups. I went to a Masters party.
Yeah.
I had about a bazillion of them.
Yeah.
And so I took a handful.
Oh, you took the
Yeah.
cups, huh? From the Masters.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
And
And you weren't even at the Masters.
they're real, well, as close as you can get.
Yeah.
I had the pimento cheese sandwiches.
There you go.
And now I've got cups.
Mm-hmm.
And they're great cups. We've had a lot of tickets to give away this week. Did you? Heart and Cheap Trick are tonight.
Yeah, they are.
We've been giving away those tickets all week.
Nice. That should be a good show.
I think it will be too.
I was going to go to that, but I've been down and out, so
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'd like to go to that.
What is Country Wayne?
He's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I learned that this week too.
Is he funny?
Well, I have no clue.
You haven't looked him up?
But no.
What is Interpol? Is that a movie?
Now wait a minute. I thought you knew what Interpol was.
Well, I don't know what Pledge is writing up here. He's got a fancy font on his computer screen.
Interpol, we've been giving away those two. It's going to be at the Boeing Techport Center.
They're a rock band.
I guess May 6th.
Cool. Well, that's coming up.
So all I can go by, Jason, is the fact that when I say we got tickets to give away, the phone lines light up, and I guess so people are excited about
People
that.
like free stuff.
Yes.
People like free stuff or cheap food, like
Yeah.
dollar hot dog night at the Mets game.
Uh-huh. Especially if you got a cool name. What is it, like Herman Wiener or what's his name?
It was Seymour Wiener.
Seymour Wiener.
Seymour Wiener.
Don't we all wish we could see more Wiener?
He's a 97-year-old veteran. His name literally is Seymour Wiener.
Uh-huh.
The Mets honored him opening day, and Mets fans went nuts. So last night for dollar hot dog night, they did that in honor of Seymour Wiener, and they sold 44,000 hot dogs.
That's a
last
lot of
night.
Wiener.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of Wiener.
Seymour Wiener.
Seymour Wiener. It was parents just pissed off at him or what? Hey, our last name's Wiener. Let's saddle this kid with Seymour. Jeez.
Now, you think he's 97? Did they have 5th grade humor jokes like that when he was born?
Absolutely, they did.
To go Seymour Wiener?
Yes, that kind of humor has been going on since the beginning of time. I mean, my goodness. You see some caveman chiseling away. Hey, Seymour Wiener.
You're an idiot. You don't want to chisel away. Not there.
No, not there.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Oh, Seymour. Mr. Wiener.
My guy from Mellow Mushroom is blowing you up.
He is?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can't say that on air, but
why not?
yeah, because I like my job. Thank you, Pete.
Uh-huh. Pete?
You ever seen Pete over at Mellow Mushroom? Have you met Pete?
I think I've met
When
Pete once or
he
twice.
literally looks exactly
Uh-huh.
like Scott Van Pelt.
Yeah, I've met Pete.
Yeah, when we've been over there.
No, I've
Yeah.
met Pete.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's a good guy.
Right.
He's blowing.
Well, I'll let you know what he says, whether he's a good guy or not.
Well, I mean, it's par for the course for you, my friend.
Well, that's fine.
You know,
that's fine. I can take it.
it's kind of like the letter from prison I got today.
Dude, that was a hell of a letter.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about this maybe.
We will. Dude, our guy, he's become a faithful listener from the Conley unit in Kennedy.
That is a great way to put it.
Yeah, he has. He's been great.
Yep. Letters from prison. We'll read those later. This could be a new bit on the show.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. NBA playoffs last night. A couple of terrific games. Let's talk about it. Plus, Will McClay at 2:35 here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
We're in the studio right now with Jose from the Gomez Law Firm. Online client reviews and testimonials are incredibly important. Joe Gomez Law is the leader when it comes to 5-star reviews.
We encourage people to go online and look at our reviews. You know, there's a lot of attorneys that might not want you to do that, but we encourage you to do that because we want to make sure that you feel comfortable choosing the right attorney. And we assure you, you go to Google and look up our reviews, you're going to be satisfied. I mean, we have almost 1,000 reviews, and we're very highly rated.
If anyone from San Antonio or even anyone from Texas is looking for a trusted attorney, the Gomez Law Firm is for you.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Don't miss the best Spring Fest deals right now at Lowe's. Save big on Stay Green 1 cubic foot garden soil. Get 5 bags for just $10. Plus, get up to 35% off and save an extra $150 on every $1,500 you spend on select major appliances. Shop these can't-miss deals now. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows savings. Offer valid through 5/1. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii while supplies last. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Get to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 and get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses, all with free and fast delivery. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Coming up today at 4:35 on San Antonio Sports Star. It's Wednesdays with Wade. San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joins the Blitz and gets you inside the Brahmas every Wednesday at 4:35.
Don't we all wish we could see more wiener? Yes, we do.
Well, that didn't take long to become a drop.
Hey, see more wiener.
We get another one out of that? How many drops came out of that first segment today? 4.
4 drops. Nice.
The 97-year-old veteran.
Seymour. I guess that was a popular name 97 years ago.
Well, it might have been.
Seymour.
But you think about ranks. What was his rank? And
with his wiener or otherwise?
It says he's a 97-year-old veteran. Seymour Wiener. Doesn't tell me branch of service.
Okay.
Doesn't tell me his rank.
Uh-huh.
But what if he was in the Navy and say in E1, 2, or 3, he would be Seaman Seymour Wiener. He could be Seaman Wiener.
Wow. Woo. That poor guy. You know, that's when you just get really pissed at your parents. Hey, your name is Seymour.
Well, I mean, your last name is Wiener. What are you going to do?
I mean, Charlie or George?
In all fairness, my wife's maiden name is Ween. Her nickname and her sister's nickname growing up is Wiener, right? That just comes with the territory.
Yeah, but her first name's not Seymour.
No, it's not.
Jeez. I'm glad it's not Harry. Seymour Wiener. They could have named him Harry. That would have been worse than Seymour, I guess. It was Harry.
That's his brother.
Seymour and Harry Wiener. Oh, Seymour Harry Wiener.
Uh-huh. Corporal.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Sergeant Wiener.
You know.
Can you imagine? Sergeant Wiener. No, nobody's taking that serious.
No.
Captain Wiener. Lieutenant Junior Grade Seymour Wiener.
It's his high school graduation, walking across the stage. Seymour Wiener. Can you? I bet there was nobody. Everybody had to be giggling at that.
I mean, at that point, they knew.
I mean, couldn't you have a nickname?
Well, his nickname is what?
I don't know, but
I mean, his last name is everybody's nickname.
It was Harry.
It could have been.
It could have been. Goodness gracious.
Dude, don't make me laugh today. I can't.
Hey, Seymour Wiener.
I tried heating up some hot tea during the commercial break. And I go into our break room that has one microwave. And Iris is in there making her lunch.
Uh-huh.
Salmon and broccoli.
Salmon and broccoli. Dude, those are the two worst.
At least it's not Brussels sprouts.
Well, I don't know. Man.
But you don't heat up fish.
Did you say something to her?
Well, of course.
Yes.
Although nice about it because she was using the microwave. I only have a couple of minutes during the break. So, it's like I'm filling up some water. I'm like, hey, whatever you're cooking for lunch, can I just throw my cup in there And because you got like a minute and a half left on this. And I, good news is I'm dealing with the cold. I really can't smell until that microwave opened. I haven't smelled anything in 2 days, but I smelled that crap.
Wow.
Now I'm worried, so she pulled her stuff out so I could heat up my water so I could make some hot tea, which I hate during the break. And now I'm just worried that this hot tea is going to have a salmon broccoli flavor to it.
Well, you're not going to know.
Well,
you can't taste anything.
Maybe.
Well, how is it?
Earl Grey, honey, salmon, and broccoli.
Earl Grey.
Yeah.
This massive tea bag.
It really is. My buddy Daniel Velasco says, what if his first name was Junior?
Yeah.
Junior Peter.
Yeah. That poor guy.
What's his wife's name? That becomes the bigger question.
Well, it does, unless it's just, I don't know any women's names that go with Wiener. Do they?
Ivana.
Well,
wow, Pledge.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Ivana Wiener.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. Oh my God. Well, there was a volleyball player that I remember very fondly, and her first name was Precious.
That would be good. Precious Wiener.
Well, her last name was Blow. So while broadcasting the game, so what if Precious married Seymour here? But then again, aren't they all?
Seymour Precious Wiener. Yes. Wow.
That would be Seymour and Precious Wiener if they were a couple.
I forgot.
I think Precious Wiener. But then again, they all are for that matter.
Well, every guy thinks
yes,
their wiener is precious.
What if she hyphenated?
Wait a minute. What does that mean? Are we still talking about names?
You're hyphenating his first name. They don't do it that way. It's only the last names.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Precious?
Oh, whoa. Careful now. Yes. What was the late night host that used to do that with the weird? With Leno?
Oh.
I don't know. There's some interesting ones in there. Will McClay will join us in a couple of minutes to clean this program up.
I hope he still does.
The New York Knicks blew a golden opportunity last night, although I still think Philadelphia wins this series. Or the Knicks win this series. But Philadelphia last night, that was a lot of fun to watch.
Dude, let me tell you something. Tyrese Maxey put on a performance that should go down in the history books.
Well,
that dude.
It will. It was in Madison Square Garden.
Well, I'm just saying that dude, he was not going to let Philadelphia lose that game. He just simply took over that game, and he was sensational. I'm watching that going, I can't believe what I'm looking at. I mean, he was so good, and just you talk about cojones. I mean, my goodness, guts of a skydiver, this guy. Just it was incredible to watch. I love performances like that, where guys just pick their team up, put them on their back, and take them home. And that's exactly what Tyrese Maxey did last night.
For the Knicks, that minute to go in that game, you felt like they were going to finish off that series.
Yeah.
I still think the Knicks win this series. Philadelphia's got some false hope going home at 3-2. Do the Knicks close this out on the road? I don't think there'll be a game 7 in this one.
I think there will be a game 7 in this one. I honestly do. I think, look, I thought Philly would win the series anyway. What Maxey did last night, I think, can carry a team, number one. And number two, it can be just like if you're the Knicks, you're going, what the jeez? And you got to get back up now and get it done. And I think Philly wins game 6 and we have a game 7 back in Madison Square Garden.
Maybe. And I'll tell you, Joel Embiid has got to be the most happiest person with Maxey and what he was able to do last night, because Embiid, as great as he is, he was awful last night. And I say awful with those turnovers and all that. He still had a great game, but had they lost that game, he would be just hammered today with everything going on. You know what I mean?
But they don't like him. Yeah, they don't like him in New York City, and he embraces that.
It's not hostile. I mean, I love New York. New York is, my favorite city in the world. I have a place here for the past 5 years, so, I just love New York. And then the fans, when you play against a team, they're always going to pick that guy. And, they seem to have picked me, which is fine. I love it. If I got to be the punching bag and you hear a lot of, FMB, that's okay. I love it.
Somebody put together like a mixtape on Twitter with all the dirty plays that Embiid has had in this series. And he's had an incredible amount of them.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's really turned into a nasty player, and I don't mean that in a good way.
No, but they're alive. I still think the Knicks closed this thing out. They're the better team. They should have won that game last night. We'll see. Cleveland with a 104-103 win over Orlando, and Milwaukee somehow beat Indiana last night. When I say beat them, they beat the crap out of those guys.
I don't know how.
115-92 without their two best players.
Yeah, no Dame, no Giannis. I don't know how that happened unless Indiana just came there thinking they were going to walk home and wasn't going to be any problem at all. But look, if Dame and Giannis don't come back, that series is over.
Boston should close out Miami tonight. Dallas and the Clippers play Game 5 tonight in L.A. No Kawhi.
No number 2. There won't be any number 2, and that probably is good for the Clippers. They seem to play a little bit better without that guy on the floor. But, I mean, does it really surprise you that Kawhi's not there? I mean, the guy, please, just retire already. Although, but if people are going to give you money and just throw money at you, if to do nothing, you might as well do it.
You've answered your own question.
Jeez.
It's what you have done.
Number 2.
Will McClay, the Cowboys VP of Player Personnel, their GM, if you will.
Yeah.
Joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an OrthoNow Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. OrthoNow provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. Excuse me. On-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. OrthoNow has everything you need to treat your injury. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA continues. Was the Unicorn able to come back and offer his magic for the Celtics to take down the Heat? A long setup for what has been a boring series we'll talk about.
Plus, Will McClay was on the Blitz. What did he say about how the Dallas Cowboys went about the NFL draft? We'll get into it. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Grand slam, bomb, went yard, long ball, dinger. Do you even know what I'm talking about, Nigel?
Croquet.
Nigel, I'm talking about baseball. Courtroom plumbing and air conditioning is a lot like a baseball team.
Should we wear cups, Joe?
When a person has plumbing problems or their air conditioner just isn't cooling right, they can rely on our team to make the big plays. We hit it out of the park every time. Call Quarter Moon Plumbing and Air Conditioning, day or night, 651-5899.
Joe, should I start singing now? Take me out.
Stop.
M16004.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Folks, quality is a huge deal. It's what I look for when I recommend something to my listeners. It means you can depend on it. Quality means it won't let you down. It's something you can be proud of. Well, that's the definition of a Connecticut water softener. With other water softener brands, you just never know. Maybe they work half the time or they're just plain junk. A Connecticut water softener is up to 80% more efficient than competing models and will be the last water softener you'll ever own. That's because you're buying quality, and it's backed up with an outstanding 10-year warranty, too. If you're ready to enjoy all the benefits that come with quality, bring home a Connecticut water softener. Call the team at Connecticut at 656-PURE or online at ConnecticutSA.com. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Connecticut.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnick. Let's talk some Cowboys draft. Joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line, the Dallas Cowboys Vice President of Player Personnel, the de facto GM, if you will, Will McClay. Joining us now. Will, a couple days after the draft, as you assess everything that you guys did, I think the big question most fans have, you didn't draft a running back, but you guys did bring back Zeke Elliott. What was the thought process on not drafting a running back?
Well, it's not like we didn't want to draft one, but every player and has a value, and we grade players by round definition, expectations. We go into it essentially saying which players are going to be starters, can be a starter by year 2 or 3, be a good backup, be player 48 to 53. So they all fit into a certain category based on our grade. By position, and we don't want to force anything. We're not the draft board is put up based on players and not based on specific positions. And so as you go through that process, you assign these values for guys, and if it doesn't work or fit at the time of your pick, because there's 31 other teams picking to try and fill their needs too, and so you go through it, and if you don't fill it, you fill it in free agency by Royce Freeman, having the opportunity to get Zeke back. So we felt like that if we didn't address it in the draft, we had a plan to address it.
Well, that's interesting. And then bringing Zeke back, I think Cowboy fans, for the most part, are pretty happy about that. When I look at the depth chart, and I know it's early, but he is listed as RB1. Is that the plan for Zeke moving forward?
The NFL now is running back by committee. There is no one back that carries the load for teams anymore. So that designation for Zeke being RB1 is well deserved because he is RB1, but we're going to do it by committee. And, we've got a stable of backs that Mike and Shadi will find a way to use them to the best of their abilities and help us in the run game and the passing game.
Will McClay joining us here on the Blitz, talking about the Cowboys and their draft. And, of course, one thing that Zeke is great at is blocking, and that certainly could help a young offensive line. You go offensive line with Tyler Guyton in the first round. You also take an offensive line in Cooper Beebe in the third round, a guard out of Kansas State who could play center. How do you see those two fitting into the offensive line for the upcoming season? Could we have two rookie starters?
We could potentially have two rookie starters, but what we have is depth in the offensive line, and feel like that's of major importance in this league when there's 17 games at a position where, guys typically don't make the full season because of injury. So you've got to have depth there, and you want to have competitive depth and guys that can step in and spot start or, be your full-time starter. So I think with Tyler, he's got the ability to go out, and we drafted him to play left tackle. I think we've also got an ace in the hole where we have an all-pro guard that has gone out and also played the tackle position and was drafted in the first round. So will be competition there as how we put together the best five. Then you have Beebe, who played tackle and guard in college, and he's also snap. So the thought process is to put him inside and let those guys battle, on the interior to find out what our best five are.
Will, was it important to you and the Cowboys to keep Tyler Smith there playing guard instead of moving him out to tackle?
I mean, I think it's a unique deal is when you have a player that can play at an all-pro level at guard, but then he also stepped out at tackle and was able to do that. And so it's still a work in progress is to find out how to put your best five together. And again, an ace in the hole is the versatility of guys like Tyler and you bring in Beebe and, Nate Thomas that have played multiple positions, and that will allow you to put the best five together on the field.
Will McClay from the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. So much talk about that offensive line because of the departures, and really on the defensive side as well. A lot of Cowboy fans will complaining, and not just fans, media too, about the inactivity this offseason, the lack of free agent signings. And quite frankly, a lot of people look at the roster that lost to Green Bay and say currently as we sit today, this roster is not as good. You helped put this thing together. How do you answer that question? Is this roster as good?
Well, the seasons and rosters aren't made on paper by the assumptions and beliefs of people who may not be in the building. It's about those that are in the building. It's about the young men that we've drafted over the past that have been in the system and have had the opportunity to mature. When you look at last year, we drafted guys, and because we felt the roster was so talented and we've won 36 games in 3 years, we just haven't gotten over the hump, but we feel like we're a quality team. Well, those guys that did not play, they didn't play because there was that veteran depth. Well, now is their time they've been in the system, they understand that, and it's their time to grow up. It's also the time for other people to step up and to make plays and to be in that position to be guys that you talk about now that have grown into that position where people talk positively about them after they play on the field and not what's on paper. So I think it's about putting all those pieces together and guys stepping up with their opportunity, and that's what it's all about. You can't pay everyone in a salary cap league. Those things sort of have a way of evening out, and that's why the league has established a salary cap. They're trying to get parity within the league. And so, you get these young players that got to step up, and that's how you address it.
Will, I find that fascinating. And you're talking about the young guys who really haven't had a lot of opportunity on the field on a Sunday afternoon. What is it about those players that you see that you feel like, okay, now is their time, they're ready to go?
It's, they've been in the system, and everybody has, they come into these college kids come into the league. They've been somewhere for 3, 4, 5 years. They're comfortable in that environment. Now you're going to bring them into a completely different environment, a completely different system taught by completely different coaches. So there's the human element of it as well. And those players fitting into the system and understanding what they need to do and biding their time. And then when their time comes, it's stepping up and taking advantage of that experience they have within the system, their maturity, and growing as people and as football players. And when it's time, it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's Darwinism. We got to survive, and we have to survive with those guys that we have at our disposal. And hopefully they've grown and they've gotten better.
That's obviously the goal. Now, Will, a couple of years ago, a kid from San Antonio named Terrence Steele was that guy who didn't have the greatest of rookie years, but everybody kept telling us in the offseason, man, this guy's going to be good. This guy is developing. And a lot of fans were like, oh, really? And obviously we see what he turned into. Is there a guy or two or three that you could say right now that we haven't seen do it on the field yet, but you guys are seeing it in practice and the development where you expect that person to take the next step?
Yeah, well, there's a number of young players that are on this roster that have played a little bit, have played on teams, and or have spot started, and so their opportunity to grow is now. I think that you'll see more from Jalen Tolbert, who made a large leap last year, who will take on a bigger role. You have Jalen Brooks that will have to step up. We have Mozzie that will have to play more. We have Willetsko and Ball, guys that have been here. That is now their time to step up. And I think that is the big thing as you talk about the running back room. Rico Dowdell will get to have an opportunity to get more carries. We'll get to see more from Deuce. We'll get to see more from Schoonmaker. So as these guys grow and advance in their career and in the system, it is now their time and they have to step up.
Will, it's interesting. And I look back at the draft pick of Cooper Beebe, and the guy just looks like a monster and just looks like he is NFL ready already. Played a lot of college football, obviously. When you look at players that have played, say, 4 years in college versus a player that maybe only played a couple of years, does that make a difference when you go to make a draft pick?
It's something that we talk about. We talk about game started experience, who they've played against. It all goes in the mix of telling the story about the player and then projecting the upside, how they fit, where they'll grow, how long it'll take them, all that stuff. So it's all a part of the process and information that's valuable. And it's the 10,000 hours theory. The more that you've played, the more that you've seen, the more that you've reacted to, and the better served you are for getting into situations that, that you've seen before and you'll know how to react to.
Will McClay joining us here on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Will, I know you're a part of the conversation, but really, Jerry Stephen, the contracts with like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and the timing of getting them done. What is the Cowboys' philosophy on waiting on those three big deals that everybody anticipates getting done?
It's a matter of, I think we've all got credit cards that we have that, some have limits and some limits are higher than the other. And what you try and do is figure out what the right time to pay those bills based off of what you have. And that's kind of where we are. There's not only the amount that affects the cap now, it's in the future. And as you build these contracts, and the contracts go up higher than the cap every year. That's just the way that business is done. So you have to figure out how to manage that and do that the right way, and to remain competitive. I think one of the things that does help, and the players have to do it, and we have to be good on our projections on the players, but it's our belief in our draft process as opposed to going out and paying, good guys like they're great and average guys like they're good. That tends to happen in free agency. You've got to have a philosophy. You've got to believe in that philosophy. And then the players have to go out and perform when they're put in that position.
Well, I've got to ask you in that respect, and irregardless of what happens with Dak and Micah and CD, Trey Lance, what is the vision for Trey Lance as a member of the Dallas Cowboys?
Trey Lance is a young developing quarterback that we spent a draft pick on, that, we traded a draft pick for, that has upside and that has promise. And he's in the mix of battling for the backup quarterback position, and things that move further from that, further in his career. So he's under a 1-year contract, and he's battling and for a roster spot, and and we feel good about him and his upside.
Will McClay, Vice President of Player Personnel for the Dallas Cowboys. Will, always appreciate you taking the time and jumping on with us down here in San Antonio.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate everybody in San Antonio wearing the star and rooting for the Cowboys.
Appreciate Will McClay on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Really appreciate Will McClay and some of the things that he said. I mean, we could sit here and talk to that guy for, an hour or two. But did you notice the Trey Lance thing? Trey Lance is done in Dallas.
It kind of feels that way.
He's
competing
done
for the backup job, and today he lost his jersey.
Yeah, he did lose his jersey.
Well,
apparently.
It looks like Zeke is going to wear 15 with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Trey Lance is moving to 19.
I thought yesterday it was established he was going to wear 21. Today, he's going to go to 15.
I know that he was asked yesterday, 21 or 15.
We still working on it.
So that was his answer yesterday about 15 or 21. Did he have to pay Zeke? Did he have to pay Trey Lance for the number? That becomes the question. Not like Trey had to go buy out anybody, but with Zeke's contract, which is basically a vet minimum deal, how much is he willing to pay for 21? But also, Stephon Gilmore still doesn't have a job in the NFL. What if he comes back? So I don't know.
There's no way Zeke is paying Trey Lance to get a number. That just is not going to happen.
That's how it works, man.
I don't care.
That's how it works.
And for a dude that's going to get cut before the season begins, because Cooper Rush is going to beat him out. And so for a dude that's going to get cut, most likely, I'm not paying for any jersey.
You still keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster. So I don't know that he's going to be cut, but is he going to be the backup or the third string?
It'll be the third string.
Because it's not like they've got, somebody else that could beat him out for the third string job. But it does look like Zeke is going to wear 15. I hope that means Gilmore could come back on a similar type cheap deal, because the Cowboys are being very cheap this offseason. The credit card analogy. Will McClay has spent too much time with Jerry Jones.
Yes.
Because I really thought that question might get a real answer from Will McClay.
Uh-huh.
And instead I got the same credit card answer that we got the other day from Jerry Jones. That is such a bad analogy. Somewhere Dave Ramsey is just shaking his head.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense. Let's wait and pay more later. And you're going to use a credit card analogy with interest rates.
Yeah, they were all trying to get their story straight, I guess. Look, I don't know. It's the Cowboys. I don't know what they're doing. I still, he says, well, we wanted to draft a running back, but it just didn't. If you wanted to draft a running back, you would have.
Now, do we give them credit there? To be fair to the Cowboys. To be fair to any team.
Uh-huh.
If you trust your draft board, when you are picking and where you have the value of that player, do you reach to fill a need, or do you go best player available? Now, before the draft, we talked about best player available. Now, I think in the first round, they did the best player available that filled the need by going with Guyton. But when second round, running back or defensive lineman, did they want a running back on their value chart in the second round? Clearly, they did not. But once you got into the third round, once you got later in the draft, at what point do you stretch? Although we always say go best player available. Can you fill those needs with somebody else besides Zeke? Is there an undrafted free agent guy? Is there a kid playing in the UFL right now that you have your eye on? Maybe. Are you waiting for training camp and somebody else to get cut and you can bring somebody in? They wanted one, but they didn't see the value when they were picking of who was available. So they didn't want to draft a guy with the 6th round grade in the 5th round, or a 4th round grade in the 3rd round, just because they needed a running back. There wasn't anybody they loved when they were picking, is what I take from that answer. I'm mad at it, but do I give them credit for sticking to their board?
Well, what it shows me, Jason, other than the offensive line, and that is solid no matter who's playing quarterback, who's playing running back, who's at wide receiver. I don't see a future plan. They still have no future at running back. There's no future running back in the running back room for the Dallas Cowboys right now. There is no future
His
there.
answer, though, it's running back by committee. So we get a bunch of guys that can run the ball. And in a lot of ways, that's what Detroit did last year.
Yeah, but
and it worked out really
they
well
had a couple
for
pretty good
Detroit.
running backs.
Well,
though.
they did, but they drafted a guy in the first round. Everybody thought they were nuts, and
it worked out.
And it worked out. You look at Kansas City with the 7th round running back. Running back by committee. There's no value at that position. So you're talking about the future at that position. There's no value there. We'll find some guys that can run the ball.
So you just go out every year and find guys that can run the ball.
It kind of feels like that's what the plan is.
Well, for the Cowboys it is, but you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they still think there's value in a Saquon Barkley.
Sure.
You look at the Baltimore Ravens, they still think there's value in a Derrick Henry. And so I don't buy that. I don't buy that you can just go assemble a bunch of Zeke, a washed up running back what's he going to give you? Nothing.
Well,
Rico
he's a
Dowdle,
great blocker.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Well,
that's
you
great.
need that behind a young offensive lineman. Running backs that are still available that you've heard of. Dalvin Cook, Rashad Penny, Cam Akers, Joshua Kelly, Latavius Murray, Kareem Hunt, Matt Breida, Jerick McKinnon, and Melvin Gordon.
Well, those guys are still not on a team for a reason.
Well, and again, so all those guys in a Zeke, who who is a great blocker, out of all those guys to choose from, who would you rather have besides Zeke? I mean, and
all
again,
of them?
All of them? You would take all of those guys?
Besides Zeke?
Well, again, you have Zeke and these guys are on the list of running backs that were still available. There are some there that maybe they end up in camp.
I don't know what Dalvin Cook's got left. Honestly, I really don't. So I'm going to throw Dalvin Cook out. But I put Dalvin Cook in the same boat as Zeke Elliott. Same boat.
And except for Zeke, and Zeke knows you and knows the offense. There's a comfort level there. So you got a bunch of guys that are basically the same. You go with the one you know.
I suppose we'll see how it works out. I just don't see a future plan there. If you've got an offensive line, and I'm going to give them a lot of credit for that draft. If you've got an offensive line that you're planning for the future, which I believe that they have, they certainly have not done that at running back. And I can't imagine them going out year after year after year, just assembling 3 guys that know how to run the football, and that's good enough. So that answer to me was just bunk. Love you, Will.
Good word for it. Will McClay, Cowboys Vice President of Player Personnel. We'll talk more about that. And the University of Houston, double middle fingers to the NFL. We'll explain coming up on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boy, the weather forecast is not looking good. In fact, there are thunderstorms in the forecast today, is what I'm told. So you know what that means. It's that time of year. It's April, spring. It's May now, isn't it? My goodness, it's May. And there's thunderstorms in the forecast. That's what happens here in South Texas. And, well, you got to make sure that your roof can withstand all of that pounding that's going to come from the wind and the hail and the rain and all of that stuff. And you want to make sure that it's good to go. And, hey, we've had some hailstorms. If you think your roof has been damaged by some of those, look, you want to call somebody that's reputable, somebody that's been in business in San Antonio and South Texas for a long time, and they're not going anywhere. Stevens Roofing is the name that you need to remember. There is only one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. That is Stevens Roofing. Look, when you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, an upgrade, or you just want to get your roof inspected to make sure that it's okay, you want to work with that experienced team that brings local roots, that brings value and a vast knowledge of their craft to every job. That is Stevens Roofing. Look, give them a call. Make sure that roof is okay. Make sure there's no damage. If there's not, Stevens Roofing will tell you. If there is, they'll get it taken care of for you. Give them a call, 210-785-0994. You can also get them online at stevensroofing.net. That phone number again, 210-785-0994.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
for the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time. There's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it's time for a brake job, go with a solution that delivers one of the smoothest and most quiet rides on the road. Napa Silent Guard brakes. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the pad. Rubber-coated hardware for a better fit on 99.5% of vehicles. And quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Napa Silent Guard brakes deliver the stopping power and performance drivers demand in their vehicles. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Last year's RV trip, we met a couple with the same bumper sticker. What are the odds?
Your cousin isn't a good storyteller.
He was a podiatrist, or was it a pharmacist? Huh, you don't say. Oh, I can't remember.
But she owns an RV protected by Progressive, and you don't. So until you get your own RV, her stories are the most interesting stories you've ever heard.
Wow, interesting.
And when you do get your own RV, save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive.
Oh, anesthesiologist. He was an anesthesiologist.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Trane heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. TraneInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, ESPN's Todd Archer is reporting that Zeke Elliott is going to wear number 15 this year, not number 21. And the quarterback Trey Lance will switch his number to number 19. Isn't that sweet? Texas Rangers, they did well against Washington last night. They continue that series tonight at 7 o'clock. By the way, you can catch that game on your home for Texas Rangers baseball. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6:30.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Wow.
Day.
Here we go.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Everybody, roll your window down. Let's go. Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Love Wednesdays.
Good stuff, man.
Hump day.
Good stuff.
Well, thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
You want to give it a try?
No. Dude.
It's your hump day.
At least the voice is working today.
It is.
The last 2 days.
Hasn't been, huh?
No. And I'm about 51%. which means I can come to work.
Well, I tell you, it's funny because it takes a little while. I mean, my voice.
What do you mean?
Well, my voice is back, I would say 90%, but you give a big hump day and you really push that thing out there and it's like it's still not all the way back.
Last week we had a lot of fun with people helping you out.
We did, and they did a great job.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
I hope our promotions people took care of them. I have not heard anything.
Well, we'll ask Nick. Yeah.
I just assume
I would assume he took care of them.
Absolutely.
Because we appreciate the assist.
Nobody's come and said, hey, can I borrow those Fiesta medals that you promised to give away on air? Because if you want a Fiesta medal from this year, we've got some that we'll give away.
We do?
I don't want to speak for you, but I'll speak for you because I know you.
Uh-huh.
You're not a collector of Fiesta medals.
I'm not.
So you get them, Fiesta's over. They either go in a drawer or a trash can, or generally in a drawer until you clean out the drawer, then they go into the trash can.
Yes.
There are some people that collect them forever for whatever reason.
They do. And it's kind of like people that get autographs. I'm not a big autograph person.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are, and that's cool.
Not quite the same, but sure.
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, autographs depending on who. I mean, some autographs you keep forever because you've got that person's autograph and it's cool. And then others, you get their autograph, and then 5 years later, you're looking at whatever you got signed and go, who the hell was that?
No, dude, I've got an autographed Albert Pujols jersey in my closet. I'm just waiting for the dude to get in the Hall of Fame.
So you can do what?
So I'm going to sell the damn thing.
Sell it?
You bet your bottom dollar.
Why would you sell it?
Well, because there's money involved.
Oh.
It's official and everything. A little sticker.
Uh-huh. Would you buy it at an auction?
I don't know where I bought it.
What do you mean you don't know where you bought it?
I didn't buy it. It was a gift.
There you go.
But the gift that will keep giving, because once he gets into the Hall of Fame, I'm assuming that the price of that thing will go up.
Well, maybe.
Of course it will.
Maybe, although it doesn't have the HOF on it. So,
well, that's fine.
Well, I mean, once you're a Hall of Famer, your value goes up when the Hall of Fame inscription is there.
It'll go up, Jason.
Oh, sure. But not as much as if it had HOF.
It'll go up.
You hope. Somebody gave that to you as a gift.
Maybe I'll find
Albert. That you would go spend some money on a frame and hang it proudly.
Oh, it's framed.
It's framed.
It's framed
in the closet.
Sure.
So Maggie won't let you hang it, is what I'm hearing.
I don't have a man cave per se.
So Maggie won't let you have a man cave.
No, I don't. In the house, there's no room for a man cave.
There really is.
My man cave is like my back patio area.
And she won't let you hang that outside by the pool?
I could hang it out there by the pool.
Do you think she would let you?
Sure.
You could hang it in the garage.
No, I don't want to hang in the garage, but I think that's a great idea, Jim. I think that is a great idea to hang that thing out by the pool in my little man cave outside.
So your man cave is outside.
It is.
Your wife is giving you part of the outdoors.
Yes.
Nothing inside the house is yours.
Well,
nothing.
I'm allowed to venture in there from room to room, and she doesn't call the cops. So.
Yes.
That's a great idea, though. Oh, it's a great idea, Jim. It really is. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hang that puppy outside. But I don't want somebody. Well, I live in a.
Nobody's going to break into your house.
Well, it's not in the house. It would be outside.
Well, again, you would need different framing if you're going to hang it outside.
Uh-huh.
And if your goal is to eventually sell that to pay off your gambling losses, you want to make sure that the frame, if you're hanging it outside, doesn't lead to discoloration or it's going to get weathered outside.
Well, maybe I won't do that then. And it's not to pay off past gambling debts.
Future losses.
But it could be, that could be a nice trip to Vegas.
Well, there you go, Shohei.
See?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'll take a translator with me.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Speaking of Shohei Ohtani and gambling losses, millions stolen from Shohei that he knew nothing about.
Nothing.
Have somehow been funneled to a bookie via a Las Vegas casino.
Resorts World. Which is
swanky place.
It's a swanky place, big place. Apparently, that's how they got it done, right? The interpreter would somehow send the money to a guy that would actually put it into Resorts World, and they would actually gamble at the casino with that, and make bets through that illegal bookie.
So what I want to know, why are you using an illegal bookie if you're in Vegas making bets
Let's
at a
see.
legal spot?
Exactly.
I mean, still, I mean, Resorts World would have no problem giving Shohei a marker.
I'm sure they wouldn't.
Now, his interpreter, maybe not.
So he had to pretend he was Shohei. Or if
he speaks for Shohei,
you're funneling this money
Literally.
to this other middleman, and he's just. But look, if you show up at a Resorts World with $1 million in cash, they don't even damn where you got it from.
We found a part of Resorts World, and there are parts of Vegas that people like you and me and most of you listening have no idea are there.
Mm-hmm.
But we know they're there. We just don't know where.
Right.
Where all the celebrities and rich people go.
Yes.
We went to a Super Bowl party, a Jerry Jones Super Bowl party at Resorts World
Who
this
is
year
rich,
in Las Vegas.
Rich.
I can only imagine what it would cost to rent out the bar on the 66th floor of Resorts World. So when you go up this elevator that makes one stop, straight up to the 66th floor, we get out, and to the left was the bar where Jerry was throwing his party, and to the right was a casino.
Yeah.
We walked into that casino, and they were very lovely, but there is no way we could afford to play one hand of blackjack in there.
Yeah, the limits were high.
The minimums.
Yes.
Well, the minimums were too high.
Minimums were high.
Limits
yes.
I couldn't even imagine.
Yes.
I was trying
Probably
to
isn't one.
Well, the sign with the like the blackjack was a $500 minimum.
Yeah.
And the maximum, I'm not sure how many millions was the maximum. But they didn't have $25 chips there.
No, they did not.
They didn't have $100 chips.
Had a
there.
roulette wheel in there.
And again, the minimums were more than I was willing to do. I mean, I could do that once and say I did, but I'm not doing that. So I'm assuming that Shohei's interpreter's up there.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah, I would think.
Or
I would
Shohei
imagine if you just wanted a drink, you're not getting the elevator to go to the 69th floor, 66th floor, whatever it was, to get a drink. You got to be a schwanky dude.
Schwanky.
Uh-huh.
You mean rich?
Rich.
Rich doesn't mean schwanky.
Well, it might.
You think you're schwanky. I mean, do you look at Mark Davis and think he's schwanky? Or just rich?
Hey, Mo!
Good Lord.
No, he's not schwanky. Not at all. I think I'm schwanky, but I'm not rich. So I can look like a rich guy.
You think
but
you're
I'm not.
schwanky?
Yeah, well,
I've never met a
times.
guy who said, I think I'm schwanky.
I can be schwanky.
Define schwanky
Schwanky
for me.
is
Hold on, I got to kick back, blow my nose, and listen to you describe schwanky.
That'll be good. Let's get that in the background.
Yeah,
you know, schwanky is like classy, but it's just it's a better word. I like schwanky. It's like the Big Blind. It's a schwanky place. It's high end.
High end.
Yes.
High end.
Classy.
Yeah.
Schwanky. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do you think you're a high-end, classy, poor guy?
Exactly.
You're a $30,000 millionaire.
You got that
Gotcha.
right. Exactly.
You should be from Dallas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Schwanky.
Schwanky.
So the University of Houston is telling the NFL to F off.
Pretty much.
They are going to go with those Houston Oiler-themed uniforms after all. In a Houston Chronicle article by Joseph Duarte, the athletic director there at the University of Houston says that his name is Chris Pesman. We're doing it. We reviewed everything and come to the conclusion that we are going to proceed. We're giving them 2 or 3 weeks to respond. We're waiting for the response to see if we get one. We literally have a story. We can show the city uses it. This isn't a reach. This is a layup. We've got a very defensible position. So in other words, NFL, are you really going to sue the University of Houston? And what really gives them some legs right now is the new Houston Texans uniform with the shade of that Columbia blue.
Yeah, but that doesn't look anything like the Oilers. It's just got that Columbia blue in it. You look at the University of Houston, I mean, those uniforms look like the Houston Oilers.
Well, yeah.
They do. So, look.
Well, there's no Derek.
If the NFL wants to fight this, it's going to be over in a heartbeat. I mean, University of Houston's not going to want to mess with the NFL.
Do the Houston Rockets not have a Columbia blue looking uniform?
Does it look like the Oilers?
Yeah, anything with Columbia blue looks like the Oilers.
Anything.
Well, I mean, with that color scheme, we all think Oilers. But when you see those colors, you think Houston.
You don't think Houston.
I do, and I'm not a fan of any of those teams.
I think Oilers.
Well, Oilers is Houston.
It's not.
But seeing that the Rockets have done it, seeing that the Cougars did it, and when the Cougars wore those against UT, I mean, they look sharp. They look good.
They do. And they wore that against UTSA, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally just said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
What are you looking at? Oh, Pledge is showing us cop cars in Houston.
Dude, that's a 1970 sedan you're showing me there.
Looks like some clip out of NYPD Blue. Remember that great show?
It's like Adam 12 we're going back to here?
Adam 12.
Those were the cop cars in the 90s in Houston. They were Columbia blue because that is the official color of the city flag of Houston.
Well, that's that's in the 90s.
Houston has a city flag?
They do. So does San Antonio. Every city has a
Well,
flag.
I know Chicago does, and it kind of looks like that too. I don't remember Houston having Camaros like that.
I just love the fact that Pledge pulls up a 1970
TJ Hooker
Plymouth
looking
sedan.
They look like TJ Hooker cop cars.
When they weren't trying to blend in.
The good old days.
Oh my goodness.
The good old days when they weren't trying to blend in. I'm glad. Will the NFL sue a university?
I hope not. I hope they don't. Just let them wear them. What the hell? It's not going to hurt anybody.
Well, it's all about money. It's all about money.
True. But again, it may come down to what does the Addams family think?
Well, I don't think people in Houston give a damn what the Addams family
I get
think.
that, but Roger Goodell might.
Well, all right. So now Pledge is showing us the Houston Rockets powder blue. That look like the Oilers.
That looks nothing like the Oilers.
It's the color scheme.
It's Columbia blue.
Well, that's the color. You look at that.
It looks nothing like the Oilers. I don't see a Derek on there.
Well, there's not a Derek on the Houston Cougars one either.
I'm just saying.
I wish the Cougars need to go find a guy and name him Derek. In fact, everybody in
Derek
honor,
the Cougar.
find somebody named Derek. Name the mascot that week Derek,
Derek
and
the
everybody has Derek on the back of their jerseys. That would be the second bird up to the Addams family. Oh, good Lord. Let's talk some NBA playoffs, some great games last night. And I tell you what, if you're looking for a place to get in and watch those NBA playoff games or the hockey, make sure you get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you get into the Roo, go hungry because, the food there is fantastic. Love the fried shrimp over there. They have the biggest and best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, a great chicken sandwich. Their salads are wonderful, is what James Pledger tells me. I love their appetizers. And more importantly, that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So when you need that late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Schwenke Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
94.1 FM.
When it's time for a brake job, go with a solution that delivers one of the smoothest and most quiet rides on the road. Napa Silent Guard brakes. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the pad. Rubber-coated hardware for a better fit on 99.5% of vehicles. And quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Napa Silent Guard brakes deliver the stopping power and performance drivers demand in their vehicles. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts, until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPP LLC.
Grand Slam, bomb, went yard,
long ball, dinger. Do you even know what I'm talking about, Nigel? Croquet. Nigel, I'm talking about baseball. Courtroom plumbing and air conditioning is a lot like a baseball team.
Should we wear cups, Joel?
When a person has plumbing problems or their air conditioner just isn't cooling right, they can rely on our team to make the big plays. We hit it out of the park every time. Call Quarter Moon Plumbing and Air Conditioning, day or night, 651-5899.
Joel, should I start singing now? Take me out.
Stop.
License number M16004.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancer pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, Alexa, do that. I was listening to Rob and RJ this morning on the Morning Huddle. And that promo ran for those guys. And my Alexa turned on.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I think that's the idea.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
But it's one thing when I say it. It's another when somebody else says it. Hey, Alexa.
Turn on San Antonio Sports Star.
Exactly. Whether you want to or not, you're
good.
Yes. It's good stuff.
It is.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along. Whether you're listening on Alexa, maybe you're listening online at sasportstar.com, streaming brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can comment there. You can tweet at Joe Reinagel 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix, the station at SA Sports Star. And Friday, we're going to be live out at Retama Park. This is going to be a lot of fun. Getting ready for the
Derby, right?
Kentucky Derby weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a lot of fun. It'd be fun to be back at Retama Park. I like that place.
Only place you can bet on the Kentucky Derby.
That's it.
They'll have a hat contest.
A hat contest.
$300 for the winner.
Wow.
Somehow
For a hat contest.
I don't think you're going to win, Joe.
I don't know that I have a schwanky enough hat for that.
Well, I mean, you're a schwanky dude, so I mean, it's perfect. I mean,
well, I'm going to have to find a schwanky hat between now and then.
Somehow I don't think you would win, but your wife could come up with a schwanky hat.
That's one of those.
Win.
What's the, is it a mint
julep? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
They'll have those too.
All right.
Special little glasses.
Cool.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to Friday.
Out at Retama. Then, of course, the race on Saturday, the fastest 2 minutes in sports.
Yeah, I resemble that remark.
What lasts longer, Joe Reinagel or the Kentucky Derby?
Shh. Wow. Getting personal now.
You brought it up. You're the one that brought it up.
Yeah, it's a hat contest Friday or Saturday.
Saturday.
It is Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay. Because John Sobry wants to know on our YouTube page, and I'm sure he's got a schwanky hat.
What does he want to know?
He wanted to know if it was Friday or Saturday.
Saturday. All the big festivities are Saturday.
Right, because that's the day of the Kentucky Derby.
It really is.
Yeah.
Friday, we're just getting you ready.
Uh-huh. Might be able to put a little wager on a pony.
On Friday?
Sure.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
you can.
I think I will.
You think you will?
Yeah.
I think I will after we talk to somebody out there who's a better handicapper at horses than I am.
Well, that's the problem. I don't know a hell of a lot about it, but
Well, I've seen you gamble, and that's never stopped you before.
not on horses.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But I will. Yeah, I'll throw some coin down on a little pony for the Kentucky Derby.
Mhm.
Looking forward to it. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you. I apologize.
What are you apologizing for?
Well, because, I hate being sick.
That sucks.
Everybody does.
Yeah,
Everybody hates being
It sucks.
sick.
It does.
Yeah,
But it happens.
it does. Everybody deals with it.
Yes.
Trying to drink hot
they
tea.
do.
And I'm mad at Iris. We
Is it still stinking there?
We should call the front desk.
Yeah.
And get Iris on the phone to explain herself. Not only did she heat up salmon, but it was salmon and broccoli.
Oh, that's horrible.
And
Two of the worst.
The microwave still smells.
Uh-huh. Doesn't the whole kitchen smell in there?
Everything smells.
Everything
And I
does.
can't smell anything right now, but I can smell that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been in there yet, but I'll next break walk in there.
NBA playoffs last night. Man, we had two really good games last night. And then Milwaukee blowing out Indiana, which was a bit of a surprise since Milwaukee didn't have their two best players. New York and Philadelphia at Madison Square Garden for the Sixers to get that win. 112-106 the final score. Maxey just playing incredible basketball. Embiid doing Embiid things, but man, he turned the ball over a bunch last night. Had Philly lost, the arrows that would be going his way, I still think the Knicks win this series. I think they win it in the next game, even though it's in Philadelphia. I feel like last night gave Philly false hope that they could actually win this thing. But what a great basketball game that was.
It was a great game. And look, the Knicks just won in Philly, and then Philly comes back and wins in New York. So I don't, home court in this series doesn't really matter. It doesn't seem like so. But remember, Joel Embiid got all upset with the fans there in Philadelphia because they let the New York fans take over, and with the Embiids and all of that stuff in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So maybe the Philly fans will bring it.
Maybe, but as Joel said, he enjoys being the villain.
It's not hostile. I mean, I love New York. New York is, my favorite city in the world. I have a place here for the past 5 years, so I just love New York. And then the fans, when you play against a team, they're always going to pick that guy, and they seem to have picked me, which is fine. I love it. If I gotta be the punching bag, and you hear a lot of FMB, that's okay. I love it.
It was funny because I saw a lot of people that, well, he was just politicking for a trade to New York right there. Pick me. How much he loves that thing. But look, with Tyrese Maxey last night was put on a performance that only comes around every now and then. I mean, this guy was money and willed Philadelphia to win that game. He was not going to let them lose. Those 3-pointers that he made at the end of that game, were just sensational. And just guts of a skydiver, man. Unreal.
But honestly, a minute to go in that game, New York thought they had won.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in closing out games, doing things the right way. And I think for a lot of teams that would devastate you.
Yeah.
Last night I felt like New York had that one. They'll win the next one. That's why I think false hope. Unlike, I know you don't pay attention to the hockey playoffs, but the Predators the other night, Nashville, that's the team from Nashville.
Okay.
They were up 2 goals with a couple minutes to go. Then it became a 1-goal game after Vancouver had pulled their goalie. Nashville missed a wide open empty netter. And with like 6 seconds, Vancouver tied it up, and then they won it in overtime. How in the hell did the Preds lose that game?
Don't know.
And again, no business losing. I don't know that they'll recover from that loss. I think New York recovers from what happened last night with no problem. That they win, close this out. I'd be surprised if this one went 7. Although I know a lot of people are thinking, man, this is going to go 7, a game 7 at the Garden, how incredible that will be. I just don't see it happening. New York is the better basketball team.
Well, I respectfully disagree. Tyrese Maxey is the best player on the floor. Jalen Brunson, all due respect to him,
could be MVP. He won't, but
he won't be.
You know.
He won't be, but he'll be close. Look, I think this series does go 7, and I think Philly wins. When do they play? Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And Game 7. I love Game 7s. Doesn't matter who's playing.
Well, true.
Game 7s are the best.
And I can't wait until the Spurs are good enough to be back in this. It's weird watching basketball without a dog in the fight.
It sucks.
And it's interesting because some of the national shows are projecting the Spurs to be in the mix, but, like watching this morning, the first time May starts and you don't have Steph, you don't have LeBron and somebody else in the postseason for the first time, Kevin Durant, in 20 some odd years, or in the playoffs with the calendar in May. And I think this morning on First Take, it's like, which one of those is likely to win a title? And, they're talking about all these young teams, and I'm like, dude, you guys are leaving out San Antonio. Eventually San Antonio, and hopefully sooner rather than later, the Spurs are going to be back into that mix.
Well, Magic Johnson yesterday had a tweet, and he reminded everybody that San Antonio is coming up, and they're going to be. It's been an argument. It really has amongst everybody, and I get into Twitter battles and on the show here, and people disagree with. I will never understand for the life of me why Spurs fans want this just slow, methodical rebuild. I just don't get it. And nobody will explain it to me, and I just don't understand.
It's worthy of discussion because I think you have some that whatever the front office says, they're just going to parrot. And people will battle with you when you say something that you disagree with or that they disagree with. So I can tell you my opinion, and you can value my opinion on a lot of different things until I disagree with you, or you disagree with me, one or the other.
I always value your opinion.
Well, no, but I mean, you go from, you don't know anything. Oh, what are you talking about? Or all that stuff. Because we have differing opinions on how quickly this rebuild will be. I can understand why the Spurs, because those Atlanta picks are unprotected, why they value those picks in 25, because Atlanta could suck, especially if they get rid of Trae Young or DeJounte Murray. I'm not set on it's got to be Trae Young. I'm not, but I think the Spurs will make a great deal, but because those unprotected picks, it's got to be a great deal. Wemby isn't demanding anything in the front office right now. And so if he's on board with a slower rebuild, which to a degree, I don't know how slow he wants to take things, but he's not making any demands that we've heard about as of right now. Regardless of what you read or, from Shams or Windhorst or whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the interesting part of it.
Well, I get all that, but it's funny how we value Shams and Windhorst and Woj when they come out with stuff and they break news, but yet we disregard them when they say that, hey, Wemby's ready to win now. So we pick and choose how good Shams is, how good Woj is, how good Windhorst is, and that's what's irritating.
Yep.
So when they say, "Hey, Wemby's ready to go," wow, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, it's
ridiculous.
It is, and again, Wemby had that, taking slow steps. He said, "I'm ready to run up the stairs."
Yeah.
Right. But we don't know that he's demanded anything from the front office. And I don't know that anybody has really said that other than people on Twitter.
Nobody said that. Nobody has said that at all, that he's demanding anything. But it's just that he's ready to win. Of course he is. But what does that look like? And I just have to believe that the Spurs will do something to fire up this rebuild as we move into this offseason. I just can't imagine running the same team back.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, on Thursdays, we like to judge meat and give away gift cards to Tri-County Meat Market. So if you've done some grilling over the last couple of days, last weekend, make sure you upload those photos to sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page, for your chance to win, because you can't win if you don't submit a photo. So do that. And, you know, before you fire up that grill, you want to get into Tri-County Meat Market, locally owned, full service. They have everything you need to up your grilling game: beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and so much more. You want a good steak, whether it's a bone-in ribeye, cowboy cut, a tomahawk, you want to do a nice ribeye, they've got them there for you. Beef ribs, pork ribs, tri-tips, picanha. If you're not sure what you want, just walk in there and let that meat counter talk to you. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect, and you can always take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25. Tri-County offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA continues. Was the Unicorn able to come back and offer his magic for the Celtics to take down the Heat? A long setup for what has been a boring series we'll talk about.
Plus, Will McClay was on the Blitz. What did he say about how the Dallas Cowboys went about the NFL draft? We'll get into it. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What's the room again?
1240, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously. Why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
What?
Please, if you
Dad,
could just...
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
We're recording this Progressive commercial on a real boat to let people know that when you bundle your home, boat, and other vehicles...
What was that, Flo?
Progressive saves you money, Jamie.
Why are we doing this on a boat?
We were going for authenticity.
We're going to the city?
Authenticity.
You mean Atlantic City? But we're not in the Atlantic. Are we?
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Summertime is almost here. No matter what your plans are for the season, Family Dollar's got mealtime covered. Pick from a selection of your favorites or try something new. See how you can save even more with smart coupons. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Experience the Kentucky Derby weekend at Retama Park in Selma, Texas on May 3rd and 4th. Join us for the biggest pre-Derby party on Friday and the main event on Saturday. Enjoy drinks, delicious food, and thrilling races. Don't miss this chance to celebrate the Derby tradition with us.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Okay, guys, we got to put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no kicking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
EasyCater has everything you need to make food for work. Work. From ordering to reporting, we even keep your receipts all in one place, which means all you need to do is sit back and enjoy.
You're not having any lasagna?
All I can taste is hours of expense reports.
Relax, you used EasyCater. Enjoy the food, Ray.
Oh, no, thanks.
Enjoy it.
That's amazing.
Yes, Ray. It is amazing. 100,000 restaurants and everything you need to make food for work, work. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
For the last 4 decades, San Antonio sports has dared this community to dream big through the transformational power of sport. For 40 years, we've inspired youth to get in the game, motivated San Antonians to live healthy, been a force behind places to play, and hosted events that impact. As we celebrate 40 years of dreaming big, we invite you to dream big along with us. To support our mission, donate today at sanantoniosports.org.
Hey, it's Jim Rome, and it's great to be back in San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On a Wednesday afternoon.
Favorite day of the week.
Feels like a Monday.
That feels like a Monday for you. Me and Pledge, we've been working our tails off all week. Well, you been snoozing at the house?
Dude, I have been sleeping a lot.
Drinking Fireball?
I was told whiskey helps with a sore throat.
It does.
So I literally, the other night I went to H-E-B kind of late and got some ice cream.
Right.
And so I got those little cups of ice cream. So I had a little thing of vanilla ice cream.
Sure.
And a shot of Fireball.
Nice.
That was my lunch the
You
other
just
day.
dump it in? The Fireball?
Yeah.
Into the ice cream?
Well, actually, I was a little bit more. I took the little container and put it in a bowl and then
dumped it in.
the Fireball on top of
Gotcha.
it. Because otherwise, the Fireball would have landed all over the counter. It would have been a mess.
Well, you could dig a little hole in there.
Dig a little hole in your ice cream?
Yeah. You can do that. We had this conversation yesterday.
What's that?
About ice cream and what you put on top of it.
Chocolate sauce?
Yes. And I thought that was great. And, people said I was kind of boring.
Well, what did they put on their ice cream?
Well, when I was talking to RJ Ochoa, he was on the Blitz yesterday for a little while.
That explains it.
And he eats, cotton candy?
Hmm?
I'm like, dude, are you 3?
Well, he eats cotton candy flavored ice cream?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
It's kind of random. I won't hammer it because I haven't tried it, but I think if I had
It tastes like cotton candy.
options, I probably would pick a different option. I like Dutch chocolate, all Bluebell, Dutch chocolate, vanilla, and mint chocolate chip. Those are my 3 go-tos.
Well, I don't like the mint chocolate chip, but you can have that.
My options.
HEB brand is fine. Then do you like Oreos?
I don't hate them.
You dip them in milk?
No.
Now, see, that's fantastic. You take Oreos, you dip them in milk, they get all soggy, you eat it. It's delicious.
I took Oreos. Last time I had Oreos, James Pledger ate them all.
That does not surprise me at all.
I took seasoned bacon.
Bacon.
Wrapped the Oreos and put them on the Traeger for about 45 minutes.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
They were fantastic.
That's awful.
Grilled bacon wrapped grilled Oreos. Now, you just say it's awful.
That's awful.
Right? You go home and you try it.
No.
You go home and you try it.
I won't be trying that.
You go home and you try it.
No.
Don't be that guy.
I'm not doing it.
Why?
Bacon wrapped Oreos.
Fantastic.
It's horrible.
Pledge?
I can already tell you it's horrible.
A, they're awesome. B, I learned something that, we've all known, but Joe won't compromise anything. It's either his way or it is never going to happen, and it's the worst thing that's ever been
Yet he bitches
invented.
about Spurs Twitter.
Well, because they disagree with me.
But you are correct. He'll make fun of RJ being a 3-year-old, yet he won't try anything. You like Oreos, you like bacon. Why wouldn't you like them together?
I'll try a lot of things. I will. I'll try, but come on, bacon wrapped Oreos? That sounds disgusting.
Until you try it. Until you try it.
Yeah, gizzards sound disgusting too, and I tried that, and guess what? Gizzards are disgusting.
All right, fair. But at least you tried it.
Well, you make them, and I'll try it. I'm not going home to make a bunch of bacon wrapped Oreos.
It was a thing during COVID.
Bacon wrapped Oreos.
There's a lot of things during COVID. So it was like, Pledge was like, well, why don't you try that? All right, I will. And I didn't make that many of them because I was kind of like you. I didn't want to waste a lot of bacon or a package of Oreos in case it didn't turn out very good. but they were good. And then I went to get a third one, and they were gone. And I look at Pledge, and he had the Oreo or something. Right? Like, dude, they were all gone.
Now, how did you keep the bacon on the Oreo?
You wrap it.
I know, but it doesn't stay there, does it?
It does.
Because typically you put bacon on some, you got to stick like a toothpick in there and keep it on. Because did you turn the Oreos?
No.
Oh, you don't turn them.
It's on a Traeger, sir. You don't have to turn it.
Okay. All right. Dude.
Yeah, I go flip the Oreos.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure both sides were even.
Yes. Exactly.
Get good grill marks on both sides.
So you turned up your Traeger for Oreo wrapped bacon wrapped Oreos.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
I don't
good.
know. Yeah, that's so good.
It was so good.
No, it was so good. I haven't made them since.
Exactly.
But
yeah, that's a hard pass. Now,
peanut butter on ice cream.
If you make it, now that's a hard pass for sure. If you make them, I'd try them.
Okay.
But I'm not going to go out of my way to make bacon wrapped Oreos just to prove a point.
Because you're lazy?
No, because why would I waste Oreos and bacon when I can have my Oreos and milk?
So you're not even intrigued enough to say,
bacon.
you know what, I'll try that.
No, because that doesn't even sound good at all.
Okay.
It does not sound good at all.
You know, bacon makes everything better.
Nah, not Oreos.
I mean, I beg to differ. I would have agreed with you until I tried it.
Uh-huh.
But at least I'm, a grown-ass adult willing to try new things.
I just said I would try it if you make them.
Yes.
I'm not making them. I'll try them.
You sound like a fight. I'm not making it. I'm going to take my Traeger and go home.
Dude, I had to taste those nasty gizzards the other day, and it was just, it was awful. Terrible stuff.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, they were nasty.
No, we were at a barbecue place today for lunch, and they have some sort of barbecue sandwich with pork rinds on
That's
it.
what I ordered today.
Yeah.
I got it. It was delicious.
How was it?
It was good. I couldn't really taste the pork rinds, though.
Well, then that seems like a failure to me.
Well, I didn't. There was nothing crunchy in that sandwich.
Are you sure there were pork rinds on there?
Well, I don't know. Did they forget? I mean, that's their sandwich. It's their signature one. There was nothing crunchy in there.
And well, they had a lot going on with that sandwich.
They did. It was brisket, sausage, pulled pork, and supposed to be what? Crackles.
Yeah.
Cracklings. Cracklers.
And there was no crackles on his sandwich.
No cracklers in there.
You paid extra for the crunch.
I did.
See, there was a lot going on. And in a new barbecue place, I just want to try your brisket.
Right.
And quite honestly, this place, I thought the sausage was better than the brisket.
The sausage was good.
The sausage was good.
Uh-huh.
The brisket was good, but I just had the straight brisket sandwich. Reinego realized I was paying, and so he ordered like everything on there. Like, gave me the sandwich with all the meats.
Damn right.
Meat explosion.
I wanted to try it.
Yes.
It's called it's kind of got that New Orleans flair to it.
Yeah.
This place, right?
Sure.
Yeah, because they had catfish. They had all kinds of stuff there.
It was a good spot.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, it's over by the radio station. It was called
225 or something like that.
225 Urban Smoke.
Something like that.
I'd never been there before.
No.
Quite frankly, I don't think I've heard of this place. And we were actually going to go to a Mexican restaurant.
We were.
We were going to go to Tecamolina, and Joe missed the turn. And so we went a little further down on Rittiman than we normally would.
It was meant to be.
And it was like, well, there's a new barbecue spot. I really wanted enchiladas, but if there's a barbecue spot, I'm going barbecue.
Now,
and so was Joe. So we went and there's a barbecue chicken place next to it.
There is.
That I'd not heard of or known was there.
Full transparency, though. I'm going to tell him. Minix walks up to the counter and he says, "What's a crackling?"
Because why? Because you were asking.
I was asking, but you didn't know either.
Well, I was thinking it was pork rinds, but the pork rinds go on a barbecue sandwich. I'd not seen that before. Well, and they had so many Cajun things there too that I was curious what were they actually doing.
It was an interesting place.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They need more tables in there. We actually went to go sit down to eat lunch, and it took a while, so we brought it here.
And
to
that's
the
how
station.
you know it's good. People go there. A lot of military folks there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's near Fort Sam.
Yeah.
But then again, it's all full when you got 4 tables.
Yeah, that's all they had.
Or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pledge is going to have a fit if I don't give away tickets to see Interpol. So you want to do that now, Pledge? Is that what you're saying? Let me find my notes. When is Interpol playing at
Monday.
the Boeing Center? May 6th. That's
Monday.
That's Monday.
Yes.
You want to go to a rock show on a Monday night? Be caller number 9 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller number 9, you're going to win tickets to see Interpol at the Boeing Center Monday, May 6th. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them. LiveNation.com. Caller number 9, those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You know, earlier in the show, we talked with Will McClay, the Cowboys vice president of player personnel. And, you know, a little post-draft, and, you know, it sucks because, you know, I've been out sick for a couple days, if you can't tell.
We can 12.
Can you 12?
We can 12.
I'm still not 100%. I'm barely 51%. But, you know, I didn't get my chance to react to the draft, which I thought the Cowboys had a really good draft, with the exception of they did not draft a running back.
Well, it's not like we didn't want to draft one, but every player and has a value, and we grade players by round definition, expectations. You know, we go into it essentially saying which players are going to be starters, can be a starter by year 2 or 3, be a good backup, be player 48 to 53. So they all fit into a certain category based on our grade by position, and we don't want to force anything. We're not, the draft board is put up based on players and not based on specific positions. And so as you go through that process, you assign these values for guys. And, you know, if it doesn't work or fit at the time of your pick, because there's 31 other teams picking to try and fill their needs too. And so you go through it, and if you don't fill it, you fill it in free agency by Royce Freeman, having the opportunity to get Zeke back. So we felt like that if we didn't address it in the draft, we had a plan to address it.
Interesting that he says that, and it sounded to me there in that soundbite that he was talking about the second round. So Trey Benson was available in the second round when the Cowboys picked at number 56. I'm 99% positive.
And that's the guy you wanted.
I wanted him out of Florida State. Marshawn Kneeland is who the Cowboys took. Now, I don't know that much about Marshawn Kneeland. I'll be totally honest with you. The guy played for Western Michigan. He's a defensive lineman, 6'3", 267 pounds.
But none of us watch Western Michigan play a damn game.
We don't watch that. And look, there's nothing wrong with players from smaller schools. There have been a lot of great NFL players come from smaller schools. But I wish I could get Will McClay back and say, what was it about Marshawn Kneeland that fit the bill for the Cowboys better than a Trey Benson? And everybody's John Machota, I've seen some other Cowboy reporters say that that signals the end of DeMarcus Lawrence.
Well, I mean, and he is. He's a DeMarcus Lawrence type of player. He's got the motor and all the different things that you've heard about him. And D-Law's got a year. Teach this kid how to do it. And Marshawn Kneeland could be a 10-year starter type, and where a running back isn't in the second round. And listening to him talk about the value and where guys are, part of me wants to give the Cowboys credit. Part of me. That they did not stretch and they stayed true to their board when drafting. And when they thought the value was there for a running back, there wasn't a guy there that they loved enough to take with that pick. And we always say, you know, do you draft best player available, or do you draft because of your need? And everybody always says universally best player available.
And I agree with that.
Until we see guys that we would rather have. I don't know. I mean, look, they still need a running back, a viable, legit running back.
And I'm sure they're going to get somebody between now and training camp. Obviously, they're going to go out and find some. But Don't tell me Royce Freeman is the guy.
No.
And, Will McClay's trying to sell him. He's trying to sell Deuce Vaughn. And that, I mean, seriously. And I appreciate that. I really do. Zeke Elliott, I don't think he's a number one guy. If Rico Dowdle is, maybe he gets his opportunity.
Well, running back 1, running back 2, as Will McClay told us earlier, it's really running back by committee.
The NFL now is running back by committee. There is no one back that carries the load for teams anymore. So that designation for Zeke being RB1 is well deserved because he is RB1, but we're going to do it by committee. And, we've got a stable of backs that Mike and Shadi will find a way to use them to the best of their abilities and help us in the run game and the passing game.
Running back by committee with those guys.
Oh, I think
reminds
Saquon
me,
Barkley would disagree with that.
Well, and I think about a couple of years ago, they tried to go wide receiver by committee, and that didn't work out, and they ended up trading for Amari Cooper in the middle of the season.
I would be shocked, honestly, although I'm getting tired of saying that when it comes to the Cowboys, because you never know that if they don't have at least one more guy from the whole list of these names that we all know at some point in time before now in training camp.
I agree with that. Whether it's a veteran guy or a young guy in the UFL or one of the undrafted guys, although most of those that were worthy already have a job somewhere.
Well, I would like to see them get somebody that can actually start game one.
Maybe they make a trade for somebody.
And that's possible too.
I mean, it did say there's a plan.
I just wish they'd let us know what that is.
Running back by committee.
By committee.
That's what the plan is now.
All right.
We'll hear more from what Will McClay had to say as we continue here on the Blitz. The entire interview you can hear on the audio vault at sasportstar.com, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. And nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Saturday, May the 4th, it's going down at Twin Peaks. You can't miss this epic night. Pound for pound, great Canelo Alvarez defends his undisputed title against Jaime Munguia. Plus, UFC 301 promises ranked matchups down the card. Show up early for scenic views of all the action. Contact your favorite Twin Peaks for availability and cover information. And don't forget, Twin Peaks is celebrating Cinco de Mayo big this year with sweet deals on tequilas, cervezas, and more. Get to Twin Peaks this Sunday and celebrate Cinco de Mayo right.
Maybe it's time to ask your checking account. What have you done for me lately? My Advantage Checking from Generations Federal Credit Union does more. My Advantage Checking pays you 2 days early, plus shopping rewards, identity protection, and much more. My Advantage Checking treats you right. So make the switch. Learn more at Generations Federal Credit Union. Member owned, community grown. Member eligibility requirements apply. For complete terms and conditions, visit mygenfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
The Big Blind is celebrating their official grand opening May 8th through the 12th with an epic weekend, starting with a 12K tournament on Wednesday the 8th, 10K tournaments Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with $500 high hands every half hour, and a 5K Texas free roll on Sunday. Plus, daily blackjack tournaments. Plan now to celebrate the Big Blind grand opening next week. The Big Blind, down from the roof of at 281 in Redland Road. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop.
Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts, until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon franchise or SPV LLC. Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it looks like Zeke Elliott's not going to wear number 21 this year. He's going to wear number 15, according to Todd Archer of ESPN. Quarterback Trey Lance, he's going to switch to number 19. Celtics looking to close out the heat, moving to round 2. Celtics lead Miami 3-1. Game 5 from Boston at 6:30. No Kristaps Porzingis for the Celtics. He has a calf strain. Mavs and Clippers tied at 2. They'll tip at 9 o'clock.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump
Here we go.
Day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Wow. How many syllables did you add in the day there?
Boy, the first one was a little
It was what? It was crackling.
Yeah. It was time. I'm just hitting puberty.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
We're stretching the limits of the pipes. Hey, Seymour Wiener.
It is a Wednesday. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to be back, although neither of us are at 100%.
Well, yeah, I'm a little more 100% than you.
I'm 51%.
I'm at 99.
That's not 99.
Well, I don't feel it's just the
your
pipes
voice
still aren't 100%.
87% at best.
90.
Nah,
90. I got to warm up the pipes.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know what the hell's going on, but apparently a lot of people have been out sick.
Absolutely, it's going around.
Well, what is going around? Because
I have no idea.
It's just a cold.
Right. But I never felt bad. You felt bad.
Oh, I felt like crap.
See, I think mine was more allergies that just kind of got in there and the voice went away. And
is that what you're saying? So you don't feel bad for making me sick?
I didn't make you sick.
I don't think you made me sick.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I'm not blaming you.
My wife is perfectly healthy. Yeah. I sleep with her every night.
My wife too is still
that's what
perfectly
I'm saying.
Healthy.
Oh yeah,
right. And yeah, it was the strangest thing because I went to Phoenix over the weekend. It's one of those really last minute Thursday night. It was my wife's birthday weekend. She wanted to go see the Savannah Bananas.
How was that?
I'll tell you in a minute.
All right.
And I thought it was just going to be a girls' trip, since my daughter lives in Phoenix. Little mother-daughter weekend. I didn't want to go.
Yeah, right.
But man, I played golf,
sure.
You got a tee time at the Golf Club of Texas, do something. And I had to go. I was fine all weekend. And Sunday night, we get home, have dinner, and I was like, man, I'm not feeling great. But I just figured I was tired from, that's the problem when you go party into college town is you party like a college kid.
Sure.
And so I thought I was just tired. I woke up Monday morning and my throat, I couldn't talk, congested, felt like crap. It's awful.
It's the way it goes.
At least it didn't ruin the weekend.
Well, no, and that's the main thing. Yeah.
Better to be sick on company time versus like your time on the weekend.
Yeah, it sucks to be sick on the weekend.
The Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, how was that? That good, huh?
I don't know how to describe it. I do, but I don't. It was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It was a lot of fun. But it's like you go to a baseball game and a musical breaks out.
Really?
Yes.
So is it kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters in baseball?
Well,
is that kind of what it is?
I was expecting it to be a lot more Harlem Globetrotter-like. Like there was a dude on stilts that, was up to bat, hit the ball
on stilts.
on stilts.
Really?
And but he hit it to second, and the guy bounced it to the third baseman that was coming across, who threw it and threw him out at first. I mean, there was some stuff like that. A guy in the outfield does a backflip while making a catch. There were some things like that.
Right,
Some impressive athletic moves.
Okay.
But there's way too much, for me, way too much dancing and stuff like that going on during the game. Or
They're dancing.
Dancing, like
Okay.
with routine. Routine. I think there is a reason why a lot of women love going to watch the Savannah Bananas, because they play the party animals, and the party animals, all dudes that, are wearing muscle shirts or go shirtless at times, and they've all spent way too much time in the gym.
Okay, gotcha.
If you know what I mean. They would make a lot of money as Chippendales types, right?
Okay, all right,
there
I
was
got it.
a little too much of that for my liking. But, as Erica said, my daughter, you always want me to go to baseball games. This ain't baseball.
Yeah, no. Well, I've heard a lot of people talk about the Savannah Bananas, and I don't know. I mean, if
I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd ever go see them again. It was an experience. And they do a lot of things that make baseball games fun and go by fast that I do think could be incorporated into traditional baseball.
Really, like what?
Well, all the stuff going on in the stands with the music. I mean, it's a nonstop party, but it's almost like beer league stuff.
I
You
got
know
you.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I get the players and some of the stuff they're doing there in the game that would never translate, but some of the in-game promotion that is going on, it almost felt like when you're watching a soccer game, when there's always stuff going on in the stands, that there's all that kind of stuff where it was a fun party. Plus, we were at Sloan Park in Phoenix, or Mesa, which is the Cubs minor league facility.
All right.
And that park is built like a replica Wrigley Field.
Okay.
So the tickets we had were on the Budweiser rooftop deck.
All right.
Which was great because everything up there besides your beer was free.
Nice.
So it was free hot dogs, and it was free popcorn and snacks, and every banana snack you could think of, they had.
I'm sure, yeah.
Available to you, from banana bread to pudding to, I don't know, other kind of stuff. The beer wasn't free, which was the only disappointment. But
they played 9 innings?
I have no idea. Yes, they played 9
innings.
But the score is different because, I don't know. The final score was 2-1.
Wow.
But it was like 5-4, but you get different credits for trick plays and scoring like that. And they explain the rules as they go. I have no idea. I'm assuming the Bananas don't lose very often when playing the party animals.
Oh, that's the team.
The team.
The party animals.
Yes, the other
Okay,
team.
got you.
Yes.
So Harlem Globetrotters, Washington Senators,
yeah.
or Generals, or whatever the hell they are.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you told me about it, and I'm glad you went. I won't be looking for tickets for that.
Oh, you should go.
No, I won't.
Your wife will love it.
Well, I'm sure. Well, because because they take their shirts off.
Well, it's not just that.
Oh, they take their pants off too, or what?
No, but some of the just between it's an event.
All right,
it's an event.
We were in Houston, I guess, and at some place, and we were there for an event for it was a wedding thing. Anyway, we were staying at a hotel, And the people we were riding down the elevator, they were going to see the Savannah Banana.
Ah.
So that's the first time that I heard about it.
Yeah.
So I was as excited then as I am now.
I'll know. I've seen them.
Yeah. Check it off. Check it off that list because that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Got a T-shirt.
Well, you did. Did you buy a T-shirt?
One was purchased for me.
How about that? They have a banana on it?
Of course.
Yeah. Huh. I'm not falling for that banana in the tailpipe. Okay.
Uh-huh. Wade Phillips will join us at 4:35.
Where is the banana? Is it like in the middle?
Wednesday with Wade. Yeah, I'm actually now kind of surprised they don't sell Savannah banana underwear.
Yeah,
you make a good
hammock.
point. You make a good point. There's a marketing opportunity missed.
There is.
For the Savannah bananas.
Little banana snuggie. Dude. I mean, so many jokes here. Hey, Seymour Wiener. Yeah, exactly.
Well, see, now that's a real thing. Pledge, as you say that. Seymour Wiener, a 97-year-old veteran who was honored opening day by the New York Mets. Doesn't say what branch of service he was in, but last night at the Mets game, they did $1 hot dog night in honor of Seymour Wiener.
That's great.
And they sold 44,000 hot dogs. You know, I don't know if that's good or bad.
They had a lot left over, didn't they?
Well, they said they ordered 70,000 hot dogs for this promotion. They sold 44,269, a franchise record.
Nice.
At $1 a pop. Normally, they sell about 4,000 dogs a game. So last night, they sold 40,000 more, but they still have an extra 30,000 hot dogs for $1, and they're Nathan's hot dogs. Well, so, you know, it's a good dog.
But now the next time the Mets play, they're going to be selling those dogs for $8, and they're going to really make a profit.
Well, yeah.
That was genius.
Part of it.
You think Nathan gave him a discount for buying so many?
Buy in bulk, save money?
Sure.
I doubt it.
And the Mets said, hey, it's Seymour. You know Seymour Wiener. That dude, he's famous. We'll give you a break.
All the people with his wife's name suggestions on our YouTube channel. You guys are awful. You guys are awful.
What are you, like Anita? Don't we all wish we could see more Wiener? Well, yes. As a matter of fact.
As I was saying,
Wow.
Wade Phillips will join us coming up at 4:35. In the meantime, let's talk about what we saw last night in the NBA playoffs. Some really good games. Looking ahead to tonight, no Kawhi Leonard. Shocker.
Imagine that.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Coming up here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com. I'm a speculator. I'm overpaying for cars because I think they're going to go up even higher from where they are right now. We'll pay off your payoff. We'll pick your stuff up. We'll quote you quick and easy at GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear. Get ready for the ultimate Kentucky Derby experience at Retama Park on May 4th. Join us for a day filled with excitement and celebration. From 8:30 a.m. onwards, you can immerse yourself in the spirit of the races, culminating in the thrilling Run for the Roses at 5:50 p.m. Your package includes a complimentary mint julep, delicious heavy hors d'oeuvres, and a Kentucky Derby race day tip sheet from Big Day Wins. Don't miss out on this unforgettable event at Retama Park in Selma. Book your tickets now.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. There at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Okay, guys, we got to put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no kicking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Friday, the Blitz is going to be live out at Retama Park, kicking off the 150th Kentucky Derby Day weekend. Friday, the biggest pre-Derby party. While no live racing, there is the big party. Of course, Saturday is the Kentucky Derby Day with gates opening Saturday morning at 8:30. Mint juleps, Derby hat contest, top 3 winners walk away with cash.
Yeah, the good news is, though, that while we're out there, if you want to come, you can bet on the horses. They have all the simulcasts going on all over the place.
Yep.
Remember Steve Hahn?
Oh, of course.
Lyle and Hahn fame?
Absolutely.
Man, I used to go out there to Retama Park with Steve, and I worked mornings in the TV station, meet him out there, and we'd he actually knew what the hell he was doing. I didn't. I just follow along.
Yeah, if you let Steve pick your horses,
yeah,
you did well.
I did.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
He still might be over there.
We'd go out, drink beer and bet on horses.
Yeah.
It was fun.
A lot of people do that.
Long time ago.
Yeah. A lot of people still do that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. So anyway, when you want to come out Friday, you can bet on the ponies.
I haven't seen Steve in forever.
Been a long time.
He might still be over there.
He might be.
I saw John not too long ago.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do a bit with them on Mondays and Fridays. The TV station, call in and do stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Why'd you stop doing that bit?
I don't remember. Why did I? I got in trouble one time.
Did you now?
Well, because we were talking about hot dogs, Mr. Wiener. And I said what they were made of, and I didn't know you couldn't say a hole, but the whole thing. So, and they just kind of went, oh.
Yeah, that was fun, Joe. It's a great idea, Jim.
Those guys didn't care.
Well, yeah, but
it's a great idea, Jim.
It's pretty bad when the local TV guy gets fired from a raunchy radio show for saying words you can't say on air.
Well, because
like that crossed the line.
That's what hot dogs are basically made of, right? Lips and
with all the things that get said, especially on that show back then. Hell, on this show.
Well,
right. That's the one that crossed the line.
Well, but that's not the one I don't think that got me done. I did that for about 2 years, I think. Mm-hmm. A long time. Oh my goodness.
Remember a conversation you and I had, I think, while that was going on. So what can't you say on the radio? Because I listen to stuff. I figure you can say whatever you want.
Well, it depends, right? I mean, like on a podcast, you can say whatever you want, right? But live radio, you still have rules.
Well, when you were doing this, there was no such thing as a podcast.
Right, exactly. But you still had to.
But there are lots of things you can say on radio that you couldn't say on television.
Well, true.
Yeah.
That's true. But apparently you couldn't say the full A and whole in one word.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can say ass.
But you can't say those together.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
And I can say A and then whole. And that's okay.
I mean, sort of.
No, is that bad? Wait a minute.
Well, it depends on how you're trying to use it. You know, if you're talking about somebody, you can't call them that.
Oh, got you. Okay.
You can say, like, James Pledger is being an ass today.
That's
fine.
That's fine.
But you can't say, not that James would ever.
Of course not.
You're wearing a Michael Jordan hoodie? Nice.
Attaboy. I love that. See, Pledge knows. Todd Archer, just real quick, is reporting, surprising to everybody, the Dallas Cowboys will decline picking up the fifth-year option on quarterback Trey Lance.
Oh, man.
I can't believe it.
Is there a breaking news sounder on this thing?
I don't think there should be.
Got this whole new...
Sure. Would have cost him $22.4 million had they picked that up.
News that's not news.
No, it's not. But it's now official. And I was just wondering what the hell took so long.
Well, there's a lot of things with the Cowboys that you wonder about their timing.
That's a good point.
We've talked about a lot of this earlier today on the show with Will McClay, the Cowboys VP of player personnel, essentially their general manager. And you bring up Trey Lance first, who's going to wear number 19 next year because it looks like Zeke is going to go to 15. We asked Will McClay about the future with the Cowboys. For one, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is a young, developing quarterback that we spent a draft pick on, that we traded a draft pick for, that has upside and that has promise, and he's in the mix of battling for the backup quarterback position, and things that move further from that, further in his career. So he's under a 1-year contract, and he's battling and for a roster spot, and we feel good about him and his upside.
Was that a slip of the tongue there by Mr. McClay?
No.
Battling for the the backup quarterback?
He knows it's the backup quarterback job. I mean, do you hear that and think he's got a long-term future in Dallas?
No.
No.
I don't. I think as soon as Cooper Rush beats him out, he will probably be cut.
I don't know about that, because you do get 3 quarterbacks that are active. So unless they see somebody else get cut that they want to look at, then I think he'll have a job.
Well, I go back to Ben DiNucci.
Well, except for he plays in Denver.
Well,
and he'll get cut because they've got a Bo Nix. Is
interesting.
DiNucci still in Denver?
I think so.
Because they got what, Ben DiNucci, they got Zach Wilson, and they've got
Bo Nix.
The other guy, Stidham?
Yeah, Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, Stidham.
I've already said Bo Nix, James.
Yeah.
They got Jarrett Stidham. They got Zach Wilson.
So
Then
they got four
drafted Bo Nix
quarterbacks.
and Ben DiNucci.
So you think they dumped DiNucci?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they traded away either Zach or Jarrett Stidham.
I don't know who's. I mean,
they got trade value. Those two guys at least have trade value for somebody that's looking for more of a quality backup, more so than Ben DiNucci.
Be interesting to see.
So, as bad as it seems like in Denver, their quarterback room, while not experienced, there's value there that you might be able to get in a trade for somebody that's desperate for a backup quarterback.
Do you have any reason to believe that Bo Nix won't be the starting quarterback day one?
No, that's what I mean. With a Zach Wilson or a Jarrett Stidham, they become tradable for somebody looking for a backup quarterback, or depending on how desperate a situation gets, somebody that could be a starter, somebody that kind of like the Cowboys are doing with Trey Lance. Do they want to kick the tires on, say, a Zach Wilson?
No. Oh, I see what you said. Okay. Yes.
Because they're going with Bo Nix.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, yeah, they're going with him.
I mean,
it's just going to be interesting to see with this whole Trey Lance thing. I'm sure they're going to give him a lot of opportunities in the preseason, a lot of playing time. But I just, again, that has to go down. And I love Jerry Jones that doubles down on, I'd do it again. We gave up a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance. I'd do it again.
He's battling and for a roster spot.
battling for a roster spot.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So we also asked Will McClay when he was on earlier, why wait on deals like a CD Lamb? Why do we want more leaves to fall?
It's a matter of, I think we've all got credit cards that we have that, some have limits and some limits are higher than the other. And what you try and do is figure out what the right time to pay those bills based off of what you have. And that's kind of where we are. There's not only the amount that affects the cap now, it's in the future. And as you build these contracts, and the contracts go up higher than the cap every year. That's just the way that business is done. So you have to figure out how to manage that and do that the right way, and to remain competitive. I think one of the things that does help, and the players have to do it, and we have to be good on our projections on the players, but it's our belief in our draft process, as opposed to going out and paying, good guys like they're great and average guys like they're good. That tends to happen in free agency. You've got to have a philosophy. You've got to believe in that philosophy. And then the players have to go out and perform when they're put in that position.
I think that Will McClay, and God bless him, he's been working for the Cowboys for 21 years. Jerry Jones has been incredibly good to that man. And so he just parrots the credit card thing and you walk the line. It's what you do.
I was hoping for a real answer.
Well, but nah, not going to get that real answer.
The credit card analogy is such a bad analogy.
It really is.
I'm trying to think of
like the explanation. It's like, oh, okay, I see now, Jerry.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Jim.
I mean, you get offers in the mail all the time. Just get another credit card. You'll be fine.
Of course.
You'll be fine.
Isn't that what we all do? Run them up.
To me, it's just a bad analogy.
It is a horrible analogy, but it's the company line. That's what they're going with, and I don't think anybody's buying that. I mean, nobody's buying that. And you look at the leaves that are falling, especially when it comes to the wide receiver position. CD's going to cost more unless, and I talked to Shireen Williams yesterday about this, Pro Football Talk, and it makes a lot of sense. And I've heard some other people say this. You let CD play out this year and you tag him. You tag him. And will CD go for that, though? And that's going to be the thing.
I mean, the reality is he doesn't have an option. He really doesn't have an option. And so he could do that. But when I hear Will McClay say salaries go up more than the cap, isn't that every incentive to get deals done sooner?
Sure.
I mean, you just said it, right? And I look at like a Philadelphia. If the salaries grow faster and bigger than the cap, then get those deals done sooner. I don't understand waiting. You give me this stupid credit card analogy. It makes no damn sense to me.
It makes no sense to anybody. And I just, it baffles me the way the Cowboys are operating this year, in particular this year. And they've done the same thing before. So I don't know. It's interesting covering the Dallas Cowboys.
Wade Phillips will join us next, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, for Wednesdays with Wade here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. NBA playoffs continue tonight. Man, there's some interesting games. No Kawhi in the Mavs-Clippers series. So when you look at Underdog Fantasy, 33.5, higher or lower for Luka tonight. Man, I kind of like how that one's looking. Paul George at 24.5, higher or lower. You want to make the game a little bit more exciting tonight? Play at underdogfantasy.com or play on their app, Underdog Fantasy, and play the Pick'em game where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry. Select higher or lower on your stats, and if your picks hit, you could win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. Ton of fun to play. It is fantasy, so you put your fantasy skill to the test, and it is legal in Texas. And the cash, always fun when all your pick'em entries turn green. Get started. You go to the easy-to-use mobile app or go to the website, underdogfantasy.com. Sign up using my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, underdogfantasy.com. Sign up using my promo code STAR.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA continues. Was the Unicorn able to come back and offer his magic for the Celtics to take down the Heat? A long setup for what has been a boring series we'll talk about.
Plus, Will McClay was on the Blitz. What did he say about how the Dallas Cowboys went about the NFL draft? We'll get into it. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get ready for the ultimate pop culture experience at the Ace Superhero Comic-Con presented by Thomas J. Henry. Join us June 20th through the 23rd as we welcome Hawkeye's Jeremy Renner, Andor's Diego Luna, and many more stars. Plus, capture a free selfie and autograph with 10 other celebrities in the free autograph zone. Indulge in our free play arcade, explore Vendor Village, and rock out to daily concerts. Don't miss out. Get your event passes now at bmxevents.com.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minnick here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Let our team keep your home running comfortable and worry-free. Call on Mr. Electric for all your electrical needs. 210-248-2026. Or get a hold of us online at mrelectric.com and enter your zip code.
License number TECL 34221.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
It's Wednesdays with Wade. San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joins the Blitz every Wednesday for an inside look at your San Antonio Brahmas. Here's the Blitz with Wade Phillips.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Now joined on the Buyers Barricades guest line by Wade Phillips, head coach of the 4-1 San Antonio Brahmas. Coach, how's your Wednesday?
Yeah, good. We're doing well.
Good win the other day, although I got to say, we had a high sack goal for your defense last week. They almost got there with sacks and tackle for losses. So do you call that a goal accomplished?
Yeah, I thought they played really well. I mean, we really dominated the line of scrimmage. They couldn't run the ball on us at all. So, that was a big part of the game. Us being able to run the ball and them not being able to.
You know, Wade, when you look at that ball game, though, it looked like you guys were in control in the first quarter, but they would never go away. They just kept coming back, and it turned into a dogfight in a lot of ways, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we had a 10-point victory, which is really high in this league, but yeah, it was a close game. I mean, they lost their last 3 games by 10 points total, so. They had been playing pretty well. Their record didn't show it, but they've been playing well going into our game.
Is that one of those, even though Arlington doesn't have a win on the year, you look at a play here, play there, they're better than what their record shows, one of those kind of stories?
Well, their quarterback's leading the league in passing, so, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, they had played good on defense before. We scored 25 points on them, though, and certainly that was a big part of the game was the run game.
You know, Wade, in all honesty, you're halfway through the season, and you guys are 4-1, a terrific start to the season. Obviously, a lot of work left to do, but you've got to be thrilled, I would think, with the way your team has come together and not only playing good football, but you're playing well enough to get these wins, which certainly isn't easy.
No, it's not easy, but we've come together well. I think we complement each other. I think really our offensive line looked really strong, because we've had guys hurt and 3 starters out on injured reserve. But our offensive line that we put together looked really strong this last week, and then our defensive line looked really strong. So, that's a real positive for you. If you can win the line of scrimmage, that's a big start. That's a big part of winning, and we've done that.
Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, joining us here on the Blitz for Wednesdays with Wade. And you mentioned the injuries on the offensive line and playing with guys that were backups that got put into the starting role, and certainly they stepped up. The way you guys were able to run the ball against Arlington, was that part of the game plan going in based on what you had seen in scouting Arlington, that if you were going to win that game, it was probably better to do it on the run, even with some backup offensive linemen getting some starts?
Well, actually, they played all right against the running game, but we felt like we could run the ball with them. But we would love it, and then we've added Ellison. We've got two big, strong, fast backs that you need to run the ball with, and so we just made up our minds that hey, we've got to start running more with these guys because they can pound the other team. Plus, they can break up for long gains also, which we saw in that game.
Wade, what's incredible to me, and I mean this in all sincerity, 4-1, and you've done that with just a ton of injuries. I mean, you guys have had some bad luck when it comes to injuries, but you're overcoming that, and the guys that you're plugging in are stepping up and doing what they have to do.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, most teams, if you lose your starting quarterback, you don't win many games after that. So, Dormady's won 2 in a row, and that's what you look at as a quarterback. I know he had a couple of interceptions, but you still got to play well enough to win, and he's done that. And like I say, we scored 25 points in the game, so our defense can hold them under 25 most any game we play.
And that's a big part of it. You mentioned Quentin with the couple 3 interceptions. He was still 19 of 30, and I know interceptions going back to high school at Bernie and throughout his college career. When you have a quarterback that has the tendency to throw a lot of interceptions, how do you coach him out of that? Because he didn't have that in his first start, but you saw that in this game against Arlington. Is that just something with film study that hopefully you'll be able to coach out of him?
Well, 2 of them, bounced off our guys or bounced off one guy's helmet. I mean, so I think it was just a little bit unlucky, more than him not throwing it in the right place or doing the right thing. The defensive back made a really good interception on the one short pass, but the other 2, went off our hands or bounced off somebody. So no, it's not a concern for me because he can throw it well. He's not an interception thrower, and like you say, he still hit 19 passes in the ball game.
Wade, that brings up something. Jason and I debate this all the time. When a quarterback throws an interception, how does the coaching staff judge that? And you just said a couple of them, just some crazy bounces and that kind of stuff. When you're watching film and your quarterback obviously throws 3 interceptions, the average fan saying, oh, man, Normandy had a bad day. When you guys are watching film, you take all of that into consideration?
Well, sure, but it's decision making. What decision he makes and where he places the ball. If you place the ball right in the guy's hands and it bounces off his hands and gets intercepted, I don't think you blame that on the quarterback. You say, he needs to throw that same pass again, and we need to catch it better. But you evaluate all of it. But it's decision. He's not throwing the ball behind a guy where a guy makes an interception that way. It's not where he's placing the ball. He's placing the ball in a good area. We'll be all right with that. But it's ball placement. It's not really, whether he threw an interception or didn't throw an interception. It's where he's placing the ball. If he's placed in the right places and it bounces off our hands, goes to them, well, we just got to catch the ball better.
And sometimes it's just bad luck. Like, he dealt with a couple of times in the game against Arlington. That said, a lot of interceptions, and we don't know as a fan if the receiver ran the right route. And most quarterbacks are always going to take the blame for that. Quarterbacks give credit to their teammates when they win, and if they lose, it's on the quarterback for making a bad throw. But how often, especially you being a defensive guru, do you see a mistake and it's on the quarterback's record with the interception, but the receiver probably ran the wrong route, and that's what caused the interception.
Well, that's also the case, I see quarterbacks throw it right to the linebacker, hit him right in the chest with it. Now, that's a bad pass. When it's close to being the right placement, I think you can improve on that.
Wade, when you coach a defensive back, though, and obviously you want the defensive back to limit the wide receiver, that's obvious, but are there little keys that you can share with us that a cornerback looks at? Is he always looking at the quarterback's eyes, or does he just follow the wide receiver, or is it a combination of both?
Well, if you're playing man-to-man, you watch a man the whole time. You better not peek at the quarterback because that's when you get beat. But in zone, you're in the area. You read the quarterback's eyes, also his shoulders, how he sets up as to where he's going to throw the ball. So, and then, of course, you got to break. You got to break when the arm comes forward. You got to break. So it's different for man-to-man and zone technique.
Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, joining us here on the Blitz for Wednesdays with Wade. Had the nice win over Arlington this past weekend, 25-15, but staying out on the road, going up to D.C. this week, then Houston before you finally get home to play Arlington again in Week 8. We still want to pack the dome, but a couple weeks away from that. But you look at D.C. and their home environment from what we've seen on television. They look like they have a lot of fun at those games with the beer snake. At what point do you get comfortable enough with the big lead that you're going to have over those guys that you could participate in the beer snake, Coach?
Well, I'm not a beer drinker, but but we have some people on my staff that might jump in there. But no, it is a fun environment. They've really played that up, and their fans do have fun with that, and they have a good crowd. Of course, they were 9-1 last year, so they have 26 guys off that team back. So their record obviously isn't as good, but they still got a good team.
Not only that, Wade, and I'm curious because you guys have the prime slot on Sunday afternoon at 3:00 kickoff on Fox. So a prime window there. Do your players pay attention to that, or do you keep them away from that? Because they got to know that, hey, they're the prime time deal on Sunday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think, anything that motivates the player, if it motivates them, but we make them aware of it. And, they are on national TV, and everybody gets to see them, and we certainly drum that up for them to, play as good as they can play and be excited about playing. Although we're a pretty motivated team anyway overall, so you don't have to say too much to them, but it's always nice to because the players are from all over the country, and they they get to be seen by their parents or friends or whoever, so it's fun for them.
Now, you play in D.C. again this week, a rematch of a nice win you guys had to open the season, 27-12. What differences do you think you will see in this week's game Sunday, 3:00 versus what you saw in the opener? And does it make a difference that you've already played them one time this year?
Maybe confidence-wise it helps, but that we won. But they're going to try to correct their mistakes. They're going to try to correct the things that we didn't do well. Every game's its own entity. We know that, but it still comes down to who plays the best, who executes the best. And until this last game, they had never lost a game at home, so they tend to play well at home.
Well, Wade, I've got to ask you, and obviously you never know when you hit the field what kind of start you're going to get. Obviously, you guys are off to a hot start at 4-1. How much fun has this season thus far been for you?
Oh, it's been great. It's there weren't. We were picked last in the league going in, so by whoever. But it's been fun with this team. There's a lot of good guys. They work hard, and we've had a lot of success, and that's fun. Mark Littlebridge's done a good job of getting getting us good players, and our coaches have done a really good job coaching them.
All right, and I know coaches don't tend to like to answer questions like this, but at 4-1, midway point of the season, a team that was picked to finish last, at what point do you guys clinch a playoff spot, and do you start talking about that with your team and with the media?
Well, I think when it comes down to it, you need to win one game to be in the playoffs. I think that's when you talk about it, you know. But we're getting close to that point, you know. So, and this game certainly is a big game. Could be a big step toward that. But now we just take them one at a time right now, you know, and one win at a time and go from there. And yeah, when it gets down to, hey, we need to win this one to be in the playoffs, you know, we're going to certainly emphasize that.
You know, Wade, I know you're not this kind of guy, but just for me, I would love for the fact when you're standing there with the trophy at the end of the year, whoever that guy is that picked you guys to finish last, you just give him a nice big grin and maybe even a one-finger salute.
Yeah, well, I usually just point at the scoreboard, you know. So.
Well, Wade, speaking of birds and one-finger salutes and whatnot, I'm curious your thoughts on the University of Houston apparently deciding that they are going to go with those Columbia blue powder-themed uniforms that look a lot like the old Houston Oilers. Their athletic director said today, and we know they wore them last year, and then the NFL said, hey, you can't do that. They're now saying we're going to move forward with it, that they think that there's enough there where they could win any kind of lawsuit from the NFL. Your thought on the University of Houston saying, you know what? We're going to roll with those uniforms.
You know, I actually Rice and Houston last year, you know, and I thought it was, since I coached with the Oilers, I thought it was a salute to the Oilers, really, you know, that they would show, you know, play in those old uniforms with those powder blue, and I felt like it was a salute to the Houston Oilers. Now, of course, the Titans own the rights to that uniform, I guess, and yeah, I heard they kind of they weren't happy with it and told them to cease and desist. So I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know Houston was going to do it. You know, I'm University of Houston grad. Whatever they do, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Wait, are you sad that it's gotten to this point? Because it really seems like the Tennessee Titans and the Adams family just kind of, you know, poking the eye of the Houston Texans a little bit when it comes to wearing those Oiler uniforms against the Texans. And I grew up loving the Oilers, and so to me it's a little bit sad.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up coaching the Oilers for 5 years, so and had some great times there. So you know, I still like to see the Oilers honored. I mean, you know, they're kind of out there. There's no Oiler team anymore. So when it comes up and to me they're honored, I think it's good. But evidently Tennessee doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, the athletic director there at UH told the Houston Chronicle, quote, "We're doing it. We've reviewed everything and come to the conclusion that we are going to proceed. We're giving them, the NFL, 2 or 3 weeks to respond. We're waiting on a response to see if we get one." But he tells the Houston Chronicle they have a story that they can tell, not a reach, that, you know, they're honoring the city of Houston with those color scheme. Although I do agree with you. I think most of us think Oilers as soon as you see that, not Houston. But, you know, the Rockets do something similar. And I think, you know, with the Texans coming out with some Columbia blue in their alternative color scheme, that might give the Cougars a leg to stand on.
Yeah, I don't know all that. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I do feel like the ex-Oiler players and coaches that I know feel good when they get to see the old uniforms out.
I think fans do too, Coach. I still enjoy seeing those uniforms, no matter who's wearing them.
Great looking uniform.
Absolutely.
That is for sure. Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. They have a great looking uniform that you could see on TV Sunday, 3:00 as they take on the DC Defenders. Still a couple of weeks before you guys are back in the Dome. Good luck. Go get that 5th win of the season on Sunday, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
Good
Great
stuff.
job. Thank you.
Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. Wednesdays with Wade, as Coach Phillips joined us on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. And never too early to get your tickets for that game coming up for the Brahmas, which will be back in the Dome there. They're at D.C. this week, then Houston before Arlington comes to town. Then they got a couple back-to-back, Arlington and Birmingham. VUFL.com.
Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham's still undefeated.
They sure are.
They always win.
Yeah.
That's Saturday, May 25th, 2:00 in the Alamo Dome.
Well, it'd be nice if 7-1 by that point in time, I think, in an undefeated Birmingham squad.
If they're still undefeated.
That would be quite the matchup, wouldn't it?
You look at it. Sunday, May 19th at 3, Saturday, May 25th at 2. There's no reason for the Dome not to be packed.
Absolutely.
Pack the Dome
Absolutely.
for those 2 games because, and I guess we'll have to ask at some point how the playoff games work in the UFL.
Yeah. Love talking to Wade. Guy's great.
So when you see those uniforms, do you think Oilers or do you think City of Houston?
Oilers.
So you say Oilers. Pledge is trying to sell me that I think the City of Houston.
Well, Pledge doesn't know what he's talking about.
I mean, Pledge thinks he knows what he's talking about. I say thinks.
He thinks.
He thinks.
He thinks he does.
But I'll ask you guys. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Or on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, comment there. Because this is what the NFL lawyers are going to ask. And I think this is why Pledge is campaigning hard, as if he's a politician.
Yeah.
Do you think City of Houston when you see those color schemes in that uniform? Or do you think Houston Oilers? And as Wade said, as a guy that grew up with the Oilers, you still want to see that team honored.
Yes.
Regardless of the Adams family and their wishes. So if you're Houston, what's your argument? What do you see when you see those uniforms? We'll talk about it and take your calls next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio.
With a Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Just saw something on Facebook. You read something really quick and you go, oh my God, I can't believe I fell for that. A new drug has been developed for lesbians with depression. It's called tricoxagon. Gigi got it.
Where's the white women at?
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With a family on vacation.
Mom, who are these people?
Oh, that's Flo and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie.
Don't they do that in the studio?
Normally.
No.
But we wanted to feature a family who bundled their home and RV and saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out of chips. Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
What's the room again?
1240, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that?
Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously. Why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
Please, if you
Dad,
could just.
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 3 or more A.O. Smith water heaters. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Get low prices on the materials you need today because Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancer pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson, and this is 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, Ezekiel Elliott, what number is he going to wear? Yesterday, we thought it was 21, but according to Todd Archer of ESPN, it's going to be number 15. Well, Trey Lance has to change his number, so he says he'll switch to number 19. Basketball action tonight. Celtics looking to close out on the Heat. They lead the Miami Heat 3-1. Kristaps Porzingis out for the Celtics, though, and the Mavs and the Clippers at 9.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Howdy.
Wow. Here we go.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Somebody's going to turn that into a gift.
Great day. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you had a great Wednesday.
Absolutely. Yeah, 5:03, and most of you getting off of work.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You've made it. I almost feel like I'm making it. I am surviving. Apologies in advance for the crap. I'm at 51%.
Down the home stretch, my friend. You've almost made it.
That last couple of days have sucked.
Yeah. Well, today probably sucked too. Difference is you actually are here instead of sleeping.
True. True. Get all the little home remedies that I try.
The problem with having a cold like that is it just seems to hang on.
Well, it's
right.
It's a week.
Yeah.
As my wife says. My wife's a nurse. It's 7 days of crap. You'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all the sympathy you get from your wife who's a nurse.
Well,
you're fine.
The problem with that
Here's
is
some Kleenex.
It's only a week.
Yeah.
Well, that's from somebody that's not going through it.
Well, true. It's like surgery was minor. Well, it depends.
Exactly.
On who?
Wow.
Minor on what?
Yeah, it sucks to be sick. It really does.
Just a cold.
Just a cold.
Just a cold.
It happens.
It sucks.
But this time of year, it's where you get a cold in November, December, January. It's kind of like, okay, you're supposed to. But April, May, I mean, that kind of sucks.
Well, the whole idea, you hear the term summer colds for a reason. Right?
I know, but they suck.
They suck. Well, is there a good time to have a cold?
No, but it just makes more sense if you have a cold when it's cold.
That makes no sense.
It makes all the sense
that
in the
makes
world.
zero sense, sir.
Yeah, November, December, January, February.
That's called the flu, and it's flu season.
Well,
for
you
a
can have a
reason.
cold then.
You can, or it could be the flu.
It could be.
It could be the flu. But it's just a cold.
It's just a cold, yeah.
And I just hope it goes away sooner rather than later.
So, don't they have that stuff for colds like Zicam or something that you can take? Are you taking that?
Of course.
Well, okay.
And it says it will shorten the cold. You don't know how long a cold is going to last.
Well, no, you don't.
But it's going to be shorter with Zicam.
Well, there you go.
It's like when you see somebody in the service industry. They 15% off labor. I didn't know what it cost to begin with. So what's the real savings? I don't know, but I feel like, all right, it's going to be, but I'll do whatever it takes.
Sure.
My wife
sounds good.
Gives me this, gives me that, try this, try that. And I was like, well, what about this? Just try this. And I just do what I'm told.
Well, you should. You're married to a nurse.
Yeah. But again, being married to a nurse is wonderful if something major is going on. When you have a cold, that's not good to be married to a nurse. There is zero sympathy, zero compassion. I mean, she would rather work late. Last night she came home. She's like, "Oh, you're sick? I'm going for a run." I say she came home like 2 hours later. How far did you run? Furthest I've ever run in my life. I mean, she was gone forever. Right?
I don't blame her. I didn't want to hear you whine.
Well, I mean, yes, Pledge. Yes, I am like every other guy listening right now. Just a baby when you're sick.
Of course you are.
As bad as I feel, she should understand.
The guys are babies about everything.
We are.
Doesn't make any difference.
We are.
I had to get blood drawn yesterday.
Oh yeah?
And I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt after they do it, but just thinking about a needle piercing your skin just gives me the creeps.
Sure.
I mean, it gives me the creeps.
Yeah. What are you laughing at, Pledge?
Your needle story.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, back in the heroin days?
Yeah, well, exactly.
No. I hate giving blood.
Dude, I do too.
I have flashbacks, like PTSD, every time I have to give blood. It was Hurricane Andrew. Remember Hurricane Andrew?
I do, yeah.
Destroyed Miami. It was back in the Navy days. And everybody on the ship was giving blood. Mind you, it's a hurricane. The seas are rough. We're all giving blood while out to sea in very rough seas.
Uh-huh.
And the needle broke off in my arm. Blood was squirting from my arm across the room onto the wall. They had to go in and dig the needle out of my arm because it broke.
Wow.
Because we hit a big swell in the thing.
Did it hurt?
I don't remember. Yes, dude, it hurt like hell.
I'm just talking about the digging it out.
Yes, all of it. All of it hurt.
Holy cow.
I mean, it was, talk about minor surgery. The guy's like, oh, a lot of words that sailors say that you can't say on the radio because it wouldn't stop bleeding. and I didn't. There's a reason they stick the needle right there in your vein.
Yeah,
and so every time your heart beats, it is squirting blood across the room. It was not pretty.
No, I would imagine it's not.
And of course, big swell, so everybody is sliding, across the room, and it was traumatic, Joe.
Yeah,
It was not funny.
I'm sure it was.
Very traumatic.
Well,
I don't want to hear your little needle story, sir.
I didn't have a needle break off in my arm, but it's still scary, Jason.
Dude, I thought I was going to get a Purple Heart for that thing.
Wow.
I mean, that was
Purple Heart.
That kind of injury.
Oh my goodness.
I kid.
Yes. I don't like him. Don't like him. Hey, Fred Robert Casares Jr. says, big mistake on picking up fifth year on Trey Lance. They did not pick up the fifth year on, they declined it. Okay. So they didn't pick that up. So not a big mistake. It was the right thing to do. Just in case you read it wrong or whatever. They did not pick up the fifth year option on Trey Lance.
They did not.
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So who owns the Oilers?
Well,
or what was it? What was your question?
When you see the Columbia blue uniform, do you think Houston Oilers or do you think Houston?
You think Houston Oilers?
Well, the Houston Cougars would like you to think it's the city of Houston.
Well, they're wrong.
Are they?
Yes.
Josh, you're on the Blitz. When you see those Columbia Blues, are you thinking Oilers or Houston?
I'm thinking the city of Houston. If you look at their city flag, there's Columbia Blue. If you go back to those times, it's Columbia Blue police car. And then I also think of UT's own Welcome Horns. He is from Texas, purebred Texas, and that is Oiler. And I think of him rumbling and stumbling down the field for 70 yards, carrying players, ripping his jersey, and making plays for the Houston Oilers. I think of the city of Houston, and it's absolutely crazy that the Adams family think they own a color, the Columbia Blue. What are we going to do next? We need to stop the NFL owners from trying to own stuff like that. What's the next thing? Jerry Jones going to? I mean, they're not doing anything to make their team. So clearly, he's not trying to. So
Josh, your phone's cutting out every three words.
I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Yeah, you did.
You needed to vent a little bit.
It's the color
That's
scheme
good.
and the intellectual property.
It's the uniform.
It's the look. It's the look.
It belongs
and
to
I'm glad
the franchise.
Must have coached Josh up on the talking point.
I'm sure he did.
City flag, city cars.
Talking about the 1979 Buick that they used to drive around in Houston.
Exactly.
Look, it's not about the city of Houston. It's not about Tennessee. It's about the Houston Oilers franchise. That's what it's about. The cities have nothing to do with it. It's the franchise. They own that uniform, and they can do with it what they want. Now, if they were good owners, they'd have left it in Houston. Would the Texans be wearing the Oilers uniforms right now?
No, but
they're wearing the Patriots uniform.
You know what I find interesting, and to a degree, it is funny though. Like when the Sonics left Seattle to become the Oklahoma City Thunder,
right?
The city of Seattle keeps the Sonics in their history book and their heritage when and if they get another NBA team. You have the Phoenix Coyotes this summer are going to move to Salt Lake City. But the Coyotes and that history will stay with Phoenix. It is kind of interesting when you think about, like, the Ravens don't have the Colts history.
No.
But yet the Oilers and that history is in Tennessee, collecting dust in an attic, where people in Houston would love for the Texans to be able to have that. And for Houston, because you're right, Joe, you do think about the Houston Oilers. The Houston Oilers. You don't just think Oilers. It is the Houston Oilers that you're honoring, and that old football team that people in Tennessee don't give a damn about, even though people forget when they first moved to Tennessee, and they were the Tennessee Oilers for a couple of years.
They were.
Yes, until the Brain Trust decided Titans, which I believe was a New York franchise before, with some ugly ass uniforms too.
Which is about as stupid as the Washington Commanders. I'll give you that, and some of these other dumb names. Look, it belongs to them, and they can do with it what they want. Other people have chosen to just forget about their old stuff and go on with the new. The Adams family, very bitter because they were treated so poorly.
They're not bitter, they're petty. And there is a difference.
Well, they were treated like caca when they left. Yes.
Well, I mean, I think it takes two.
No, it doesn't take two. All they wanted was a new stadium. Bud Adams wanted a new stadium.
Bud Adams was an ass.
Okay, so what? He wanted a new stadium.
Again.
As soon as he leaves, guess what? They build a new stadium. They couldn't have done that for the Oilers?
Well, no.
Why?
Because he wasn't a nice guy, and they don't want to do business with somebody that's not nice.
Well, the mayor of Houston at that time was not a nice guy either. He was an ass.
So you had two guys you could describe as an ass that couldn't come to an agreement. Shocker.
So Bud says, all right, screw you. We're leaving.
Yes.
We're taking the Oilers with us.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when the NFL said, Houston, you should have an NFL team, we will give you the Texans, and oh yeah, we'll give you a new stadium too.
Yeah. And the Patriots uniforms.
And I think it was a different mayor that got the stadium built.
It was.
Not that I know Houston history, but
no, it was a different mayor who had some sense.
Wow.
And if it would have been that mayor,
look,
before the Oilers left, I guess the Oilers were still. Wouldn't it be nice if the Houston Oilers were still in the city of Houston?
It would.
That would be fantastic.
It would be great.
Yes,
it would be great. It would be great.
And then you'd have the Nashville Texans.
The brilliance on this show sometimes amazes me. It really does. The creativity.
I'm just saying.
They got the wrong UT too, with the wrong color orange.
They do.
Ass backwards.
That's an ugly orange, I'm going to tell you.
The Tennessee Texans.
Tennessee Volunteers.
That makes all the sense in the world. That's funny. A comedian, Country Wayne, he's funny too. He's on the King of Hearts tour. Going to be at the Aztec Theater on May 5th. So this week.
That's Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo.
Nice. If you're sober and want to go see Country Wayne, the King of Hearts tour.
He's probably funny or drunk. So
probably.
Aren't we all?
Go get your beer there at the Aztec Theater. If you're looking for something to do on Sunday night, go watch the comedy show. Just be caller number 9 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them at livenation.com.
Hey, Parkhurst New Vision, you heard me talking about them, and I'm just thrilled to do so. And what I really like is the social media posts that they have, and they have a lot now. You know, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media you have. I like seeing the happy patients and the great stories about Parkhurst New Vision. It kind of makes you feel like you're in a community of happy folks that Parkhurst New Vision has taken very good care of. That's what Parkhurst New Vision does. Dr. Parkhurst and his staff over there are the best in the business. And from the moment you walk in the door there, it is like you're a part of that family, and you really are. Look, if you're tired of the readers, tired of the glasses, you owe it to yourself to call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. When you give them a call, you set up that initial consultation, tell them that Joe Reinigle from the Blitz sent you in there, and then ask any questions you want. They're going to explain to you how they do things, and everybody's going to feel just fine about what's about to happen. And I'll tell you what, after your procedure, you're going to be one of those happy patients that I see all the time on social media, including UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor. He just had his eyes done, and boy, he is as happy as the rest of us. Join the community. Let them do for you what they've done for us. Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Don't sweat a swing and miss thanks to insurance tokens from BetMGM. Add an MLB wager to your bet slip and activate your bet insurance token. If your bet with the token applied doesn't hit, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets up to a specified maximum amount. That's another chance to step up to the plate and bet on the action out there on the diamond. Go to your BetMGM account today to claim your bet insurance token and get your stake back in bonus bets if your MLB wager using the token doesn't win. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks and official sports betting partner of MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer is not available in D.C., Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. For West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
This is Andrew Monaco and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sneezy.
Yeah.
I got sneezy.
I'm sneezy and you're dopey. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star as we continue to talk about those Nashville Texans.
I'm impressed that you knew a couple of seven dwarfs.
Dude, I'm 5'7". I know them all. Comes with the territory.
That's funny.
Actually, what are the other five? It's Sneezy,
Sneezy,
Dopey,
Doc,
Grumpy,
Doc.
So we got Greg Shelton. There is a Doc.
There is.
Right. Who are the other ones?
Bashful.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I couldn't name them.
I don't remember the rest. And I know I would. I'd be like, duh, if I saw them. And before I.
If you saw them?
Well, I'm going to Google them real quick.
Okay.
Well, we got 6.
Do we have 6 or 4?
We got 6. Grumpy, Dopey, Sneezy, Bashful, Doc.
So we got Grumpy,
that's still not
Sneezy,
6,
Dopey,
is it?
Sleepy,
No, we have
Doc, Bashful, Happy.
Happy was the other.
There
The
you go.
Happy.
Happy.
Of course.
Of course.
Yes. I'm happy when I'm not sneezy.
Yes.
I'll be happy when this crap is done.
It's only 7 days, Jason. Suck it up. It sound like your wife.
Shut up, Joe.
Suck it up, Jason. It's only 7 days.
Dude, I tried one of those. I'm going to gross a lot of people out when I say this.
Oh, geez.
That stuff you put in a bottle and you squirt it up your nose to try to drain it all out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Oh no. Well, what comes out of your nose is a little surprising. Little surprising.
Because they just get gooey and sticky and stick all over everything.
Yeah, not quite that. But it's and it works. And here's the thing. And Joe Reinangle, I think you can back me up on this. And if anybody that's listened to this show for any length of time, especially early in the show, both of us get a little sneezy at some point.
Yeah.
If you listen to Rob in the morning, he gets it. The crap on the carpeted walls in here is awful. So I don't know if what I'm doing right now during the show is this the crap that's in this studio, or is it my cold in the medicine? Because I've taken my medicine on time, Joanna, if you're listening. But when we went to lunch, I was fine.
You were fine.
This morning at home, I was fine. Like, all right, I can do this. This will be fine. It was after I was in this studio for about an hour.
That's it.
Is when all hell broke loose inside of my nose.
I'm telling you, I think it's a petri dish in the studio.
It's disgusting.
Yes.
I mean, and what's funny is you started at this station almost 3 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
It's been about, roughly.
Interview process. There's a studio down the hall that we were supposed to move into a couple of years ago.
No carpet on the walls.
No carpet on the walls in there. Maybe, if anybody's listening, that could make that move. It might be time to move because we need to rip the carpet out of here.
I agree with that.
Because honestly, I'm not sure if this right now, which sucks, is the cold or the allergies in this crap room.
Well, I think it's the cold, first of all. You've got a base, right? And then you add the allergies on top of it, and it just makes things worse.
Yes.
So my thought process is, as soon as you leave here, you drive home, you get home, you're going to feel a hell of a lot better.
Probably
will.
I've survived. I've survived the show.
You have.
I can push
about
through
30 more minutes.
I can push through 30 minutes.
30 minutes is nothing, huh?
That's nothing.
All right.
He also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up.
Yes, that is true. Because I'll do that nose process again.
Well, I'm glad that none of us get to see that.
No.
So that's awesome.
Although if you ever do try that, I highly suggest the shower as opposed to over your bathroom sink.
Oh, dude. Now, is that one of those like Navage things, or is just the squirty thing? The little ball with the thing?
I don't know. It's a bottle, and you put this stuff in it, and then you just squeeze it up your nose, and just all this stuff starts draining out. I did it over the sink. I think if I do it again, it's going to be in the shower because it was messy.
That's awful.
But I felt so much better.
You know, when you had babies,
yeah,
and you had that little ball thing you squeeze with the thing you stick up their nose and just squeeze it, and all that snot comes out of there. Yeah. That's not what you use.
Kiss my bobo.
No. I'm not sure what that was. We'll leave that one alone, pledge. So that's what I'm saying. It's just, one of those. But man, you feel better after you do it.
I like to get one of those Navage things, which it's like the big deal.
If you're gonna do it, you got to sound like the goofy guy in the commercial. Navage.
So it's got the two things. You stick them at the same time.
Oh, at the same time.
So one blows and one sucks.
Oh. Pledge is saying so you're basically waterboarding yourself?
Basically, yeah.
In a way. I mean,
but that way it won't
'cause
spill all over the bathroom sink.
Well, I mean, well, you're over the sink, but I mean, it's just, I mean, it's there's a lot going on there.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot happening.
It's you know,
We got to get that stuff out of there.
well,
man.
that's it.
That's
the important thing.
Because you don't want that draining into your lungs, and then you got lung issues, and
Well, then you're coughing up phlegm, sir.
exactly.
Lung issues.
That's what I'm talking about.
All of a sudden, snot drains down and gives you lung issues.
Lung issues. You're coughing up crap.
Yeah.
Pneumonia.
It's not good. Yeah, but there you go. It could lead to all kinds of bad things.
Any other home remedies that you people want to tweet at Joe Reinagel 210 so we can avoid lung issues? At Jason Minix. Like I said, the brilliance sometimes on this show.
You always need something around, though, that will blow and suck at the same time. I mean, you know, you have to have this stuff like that.
Yes.
Makes life bearable. Woo! That'll open you up. Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the YouTube chat. I don't even want to get lost into that mess.
Everybody's having a good time. It's hump day, man.
It's hump day.
Getting over the hump. The weekend's in sight. Here we go.
Hump day on a kind of feels like Monday.
Well, for you it does. For
Dude.
Pledge and I, we're tired of climbing the hump.
Hump day.
Tired of climbing the hump.
We are. We're getting on the backside of that hump.
Really?
Gonna slide right down.
Can do what?
Slide right down.
There you go. Huh?
Oh my goodness.
You doing all right?
What a day. I'm doing great.
Are you sure?
I feel fantastic.
I can tell.
Yeah. It's almost beer 30, my friend.
It is almost beer 30. Will McClay, the Dallas Cowboys vice president of player personnel. Draft over the weekend. Let's talk to Will McClay and find out why they didn't draft a running back. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. If you need t-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. Whatever the occasion is, Sam will get you taken care of. Maybe you just need new uniforms for your employees. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from all kinds of industries, and Sam has all the big name brands. North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority. If you just need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, a dress shirt, Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices, and Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big, and all items come with a warranty. It's Wednesday. You need something done by the weekend? Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, about a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA continues. Was the Unicorn able to come back and offer his magic for the Celtics to take down the Heat? A long setup for what has been a boring series. We'll talk about it.
Plus, Will McClay was on the Blitz. What did he say about how the Dallas Cowboys went about the NFL draft? We'll get into it. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Folks, quality is a huge deal. It's what I look for when I recommend something to my listeners. It means you can depend on it. Quality means it won't let you down. It's something you can be proud of. Well, that's the definition of a Connecticut water softener. With other water softener brands, you just never know. Maybe they work half the time or they're just plain junk. A Connecticut water softener is up to 80% more efficient than competing models and will be the last water softener you'll ever own. That's because you're buying quality, and it's backed up with an outstanding 10-year warranty, too. If you're ready to enjoy all the benefits that come with quality, bring home a Connecticut water softener. Call the team at Connecticut at 656-PURE or online at ConnecticutSA.com. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks, with everything from tequila cocktails to extensive bourbon categories that you will not believe. Their top shelf spirits and cocktails served over those icy balls cannot be matched. Twin Peaks has you covered. And don't forget about the 29-degree man-sized drafts.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnick. Let's talk some Cowboys draft. Joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line, the Dallas Cowboys Vice President of Player Personnel, the de facto GM, if you will, Will McClay. Joining us now. Will, a couple days after the draft, as you assess everything that you guys did, I think the big question most fans have, you didn't draft a running back, but you guys did bring back Zeke Elliott. What was the thought process on not drafting a running back?
Well, it's not like we didn't want to draft one, but every player and has a value, and we grade players by round definition, expectations. We go into it essentially saying which players are going to be starters, can be a starter by year 2 or 3, be a good backup, be player 48 to 53. So they all fit into a certain category based on our grade. By position, and we don't want to force anything. We're not the draft board is put up based on players and not based on specific positions. And so as you go through that process, you assign these values for guys, and if it doesn't work or fit at the time of your pick, because there's 31 other teams picking to try and fill their needs too. And so you go through it, and if you don't fill it, you fill it in free agency by Royce Freeman, having the opportunity to get Zeke back. So we felt like that if we didn't address it in the draft, we had a plan to address it.
Well, that's interesting. And then bringing Zeke back, I think Cowboy fans, for the most part, are pretty happy about that. When I look at the depth chart, and I know it's early, but he is listed as RB1. Is that the plan for Zeke moving forward?
The NFL now is running back by committee. There is no one back that carries the load for teams anymore. So that designation for Zeke being RB1 is well deserved because he is RB1, but we're going to do it by committee. And, we've got a stable of backs that Mike and Shadi will find a way to use them to the best of their abilities and help us in the run game and the passing game.
Will McClay joining us here on the Blitz, talking about the Cowboys and their draft. And, of course, one thing that Zeke is great at is blocking, and that certainly could help a young offensive line. You go offensive line with Tyler Guyton in the first round. You also take an offensive line in Cooper Beebe in the third round, a guard out of Kansas State who could play center. How do you see those two fitting into the offensive line for the upcoming season? Could we have two rookie starters?
We could potentially have two rookie starters, but what we have is depth in the offensive line, and feel like that's of major importance in this league when there's 17 games at a position where, guys typically don't make the full season because of injury. So you've got to have depth there, and you want to have competitive depth and guys that can step in and spot start or, be your full-time starter. So I think with Tyler, he's got the ability to go out, and we drafted him to play left tackle. I think we've also got an ace in the hole where we have an all-pro guard that has gone out and also played the tackle position and was drafted in the first round. So will be competition there as how we put together the best five. Then you have Beebe, who played tackle and guard in college, and he's also snapped. So the thought process is to put him inside and let those guys battle, on the interior to find out what our best five are.
Will, was it important to you and the Cowboys to keep Tyler Smith there playing guard instead of moving him out to tackle?
I mean, I think it's a unique deal is when you have a player that can play at an all-pro level at guard, but then he also stepped out at tackle and was able to do that. And so it's still a work in progress is to find out how to put your best five together. And again, an ace in the hole is the versatility of guys like Tyler and you bring in Beebe and, Nate Thomas that have played multiple positions, and that will allow you to put the best five together on the field.
Will McClay from the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. So much talk about that offensive line because of the departures, and really on the defensive side as well. A lot of Cowboy fans will complaining, and not just fans, media too, about the inactivity this offseason, the lack of free agent signings. And quite frankly, a lot of people look at the roster that lost to Green Bay and say currently, as we sit today, this roster is not as good. You helped put this thing together. How do you answer that question? Is this roster as good?
Well, the seasons and rosters aren't made on paper by the assumptions and beliefs of people who may not be in the building. It's about those that are in the building. It's about the young men that we've drafted over the past that have been in the system and have had the opportunity to mature. When you look at last year, we drafted guys, and because we felt the roster was so talented and we've won 36 games in 3 years, we just haven't gotten over the hump, but we feel like we're a quality team. Well, those guys that did not play, they didn't play because there was that veteran depth. Well, now is their time they've been in the system. They understand that, and it's their time to grow up. It's also the time for other people to step up and to make plays and to, be in that position to be guys that you talk about now that have grown into that position where, people talk positively about them after they play on the field and not what's on paper. So I think it's about putting all those pieces together and guys stepping up with their opportunity. And that's what it's all about. You can't pay everyone in a salary cap league. Those things sort of have a way of evening out, and that's why the league has established a salary cap. They're trying to get parity within the league, and so you get these young players that got to step up, and that's how you address it.
Will, I find that fascinating. And you're talking about the young guys who really haven't had a lot of opportunity on the field on a Sunday afternoon. What is it about those players that you see that you feel like, okay, now is their time, they're ready to go?
It's, they've been in the system, and everybody has, they come into these college kids come into the league. They've been somewhere for 3, 4, 5 years. They're comfortable in that environment. Now you're going to bring them into a completely different environment, a completely different system taught by completely different coaches. So there's the human element of it as well. And those players fitting into the system and understanding what they need to do and biding their time. And then when their time comes, it's stepping up and taking advantage of that experience they have within the system, their maturity, and growing as people and as football players. And when it's time, it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's Darwinism. We got to survive, and we have to survive with those guys that we have at our disposal. And hopefully they've grown and they've gotten better.
That's obviously the goal. Now, Will, a couple of years ago, a kid from San Antonio named Terrence Steele was that guy who didn't have the greatest of rookie years, but everybody kept telling us in the offseason, man, this guy's going to be good. This guy is developing. And a lot of fans were like, oh, really? And obviously we see what he turned into. Is there a guy or two or three that you could say right now that we haven't seen do it on the field yet, but you guys are seeing it in practice and the development where you expect that person to take the next step?
Yeah, well, there's a number of young players that are on this roster that have played a little bit, have played on teams, and or have spot started, and so their opportunity to grow is now. I think that you'll see more from Jalen Tolbert, who made a large leap last year, who will take on a bigger role. You have Jalen Brooks that will have to step up. We have Mozzie that will have to play more. We have Willetsko and Ball, guys that have been here. That is now their time to step up. And I think that is the big thing as you talk about the running back room. Rico Dowdell will get to have an opportunity to get more carries. We'll get to see more from Deuce. We'll get to see more from Schoonmaker. So as these guys grow and advance in their career and in the system, it is now their time, and they have to step up.
Will, it's interesting, and I look back at the draft pick of Cooper Beebe, and the guy just looks like a monster and just looks like he is NFL ready already. Played a lot of college football, obviously. When you look at players that have played, say, 4 years in college versus a player that maybe only played a couple of years, does that make a difference when you go to make a draft pick?
It's something that we talk about. We talk about game started experience, who they've played against. It all goes in the mix of telling the story about the player and then projecting the upside, how they fit, where they'll grow, how long it'll take them, all that stuff. So it's all a part of the process and information that's valuable. And it's the 10,000 hours theory. The more that you've played, the more that you've seen, the more that you've reacted to, and the better served you are for getting into situations that, that you've seen before and you'll know how to react to.
Will McClay joining us here on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Will, I know you're a part of the conversation, but really, Jerry Stephen, the contracts with like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and the timing of getting them done. What is the Cowboys' philosophy on waiting on those three big deals that everybody anticipates getting done?
It's a matter of, I think we've all got credit cards that we have that, some have limits and some limits are higher than the other. And what you try and do is figure out what the right time to pay those bills based off of what you have. And that's kind of where we are. There's not only the amount that affects the cap now, it's in the future. And as you build these contracts, and the contracts go up higher than the cap every year. That's just the way that business is done. So you have to figure out how to manage that and do that the right way, and to remain competitive. I think one of the things that does help, and the players have to do it, and we have to be good on our projections on the players, but it's our belief in our draft process as opposed to going out and paying, good guys like they're great and average guys like they're good. That tends to happen in free agency. You've got to have a philosophy. You've got to believe in that philosophy. And then the players have to go out and perform when they're put in that position.
Well, I've got to ask you in that respect, and irregardless of what happens with Dak and Micah and CD, Trey Lance, what is the vision for Trey Lance as a member of the Dallas Cowboys?
Trey Lance is a young developing quarterback that we spent a draft pick on, that we traded a draft pick for, that has upside and that has promise, and he's in the mix of battling for the backup quarterback position, and things that move further from that, further in his career. So he's under a 1-year contract, and he's battling and for a roster spot, and we feel good about him and his upside.
Will McClay, Vice President of Player Personnel for the Dallas Cowboys. Will, always appreciate you taking the time and jumping on with us down here in San Antonio.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate everybody in San Antonio wearing the star and rooting for the Cowboys.
Appreciate you. Will McClay on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Always love talking to Will McClay. He's really a straight shooter. He'll give you the answer. You may not like what he says, but I mean, he's gonna tell you what he thinks and how it is.
Who was clapping at the end of the interview? That was on Will's end, not ours.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe is Jason Garrett back? Way to go, Will.
You talk about straight answers, and you get that a lot from Will. And maybe it was my question. What is the Cowboys' philosophy? Because I did not want to hear that damn credit card analogy again. And, sure, some have higher limits, others don't. And you know what else you can do? If you need to go buy something and you got a maxed out credit card, you open up a new credit card. They'll give you one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? They'll give you one.
Yeah.
And Jerry could probably get another one.
Jerry could get as many as he wants.
Well, and again, I think it was Hembo or somebody on Granny said Jerry Jones is just flat cheap.
He did.
And to a degree he is. But when you listen to what Will McClay was saying there on the philosophy, is they don't want to overpay guys, which is what happens a lot in free agency. You can play a good player as if he's great. I thought that was a pretty interesting part of his answer.
Belief in our draft process, as opposed to going out and paying, good guys like they're great and average guys like they're good. That tends to happen in free agency.
All right. So, I mean, to a degree, all right, that's a pretty straight answer. That doesn't really answer why you haven't paid CD, because he's great and he's going to get great money. And you also just said salaries go up faster than the salary cap. So by waiting, it puts you in a worse position with your damn credit card analogies. It makes no sense.
Well, something just occurred to me. And is it all the Cowboys? We sit here and we blame Jerry Jones for not paying these guys. Maybe it's CD Lamb who's saying, I'll wait. Let's wait a little while. Let's see what happens. Maybe it's Dak Prescott saying, you know what, let's wait and we'll see. I mean, it may not be all Jerry and the front office of the Dallas Cowboys. True. We blame them for these things, but there are two sides that have to get together here. And look, if you're CD Lamb, why not wait? Look, you're under contract this year. You'd like to get paid, but you're seeing what's happening. And you had two wide receivers get paid in the time that Jerry said we want to see leaves fall.
While I do agree with you, if you're CD, if you're patient, you will end up with more. Because as more deals get done, as more leaves fall, according to Jerry, that just is more money. That changes the floor for the negotiations with CD Lamb. But if you're CD Lamb, you are in a hurry to get that deal done because you don't want to play out this year and then get tagged.
Right.
And then get tagged. So you would rather have that long-term stability and the signing bonus money. So that would be my only argument against waiting, because he might wait to a point of, all right, now I'm getting tagged, and then you're going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so the guarantees of that money, I think, is certainly important. And when you look at the A.J. Brown guarantees that got released today, if you're CD, you're looking at that saying, yeah, I'd much rather have that than play out this year and play out the tag and then not know what's going to happen.
Well, that was second leaf to fall, and that happened
Yeah.
right before the draft. What did he get? $51 million guaranteed?
Yeah.
Or signing bonus or whatever it was, signing.
But the new money in this year is none. Next year it's
Right.
a huge raise and then it drops. But over the 3 years it's there. And other than avoiding playing on the tag and having that happen, that would be the only thing that if I'm CD, I want to get paid sooner. And it's his first big contract. Same with Micah. Dak has big contracts. He's got enough money in the bank forever. So he can afford to be a little bit more patient. If you're CD, you waited for a couple to already fall and they changed your floor. Waiting on Justin, you don't necessarily need to do that.
You don't need to do that. And it's interesting. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in Jerry's office and hear what he's saying, because it's got to be more than just Jerry saying we're going to wait. I don't want to do it right now. The credit card's full, whatever the hell he's saying. It's got to be more to it than that.
It might not be. I mean, you look at that money it's due at signing when you guarantee somebody $50 million.
Sure.
Jerry would much rather keep that money in his bank. If there's no difference between now and 4 or 5 months from now, the interest on $50 million due at signing, it's probably a pretty good chunk of change. That probably pays for, I don't know, Zeke's new deal, which is basically a bet minimum.
Yes, it is.
Or maybe not quite that much, but you know what I'm saying. That money's still working for Jerry if it's in his account versus in CD's account.
Yeah, all of that is true. But I mean, at some point in time, you got to figure out what is your plan? What is your plan? And that's the thing. Is your plan to keep CD Lamb? Is he long-term Dallas Cowboy or is he not? Dak Prescott, is he long-term Dallas Cowboy or is he not? I mean, at some point in time, you got to pull the trigger. I mean, you can't just put it off and push it down the road forever.
Deadlines make deals.
You have to get it done one way or the other.
Deadlines make deals. If you missed some of Will McClay, you want to listen to Wade Phillips, check the audio vault at sasportstar.com, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. Extra innings with Pledge coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz.